What's up and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. We are back for another installation of the Siege Double Shot, and this time we are crowning some kings. We are headed to Pro League. The team that wins today makes that final step, opens the door on the gateway to greatness. I am the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me, as always, my partner and co-host, Mr. Whiskey Run.
That's right. Welcome, everyone, to what is the finale of the Challenger Series. We have been here all the way, every single cast, every day through since the beginning of March, as we watched all of these teams make their way down to the final two. And after today, after this best of three, my friend, the final one team. We started off with 400 over 3 open qualifier weekends, plus adding in some MXPL teams into the mix to get down to this final one. It is crazy we've been this far.
Yeah, absolutely. So, while they're getting the lobby set up, we've got nothing to do with it this time. We're on a feed watching, no observers, so we have no control over lobby times and starts. So, as it's getting set up and getting going, we're going to take a look at what we're bringing you today. Let's take a quick look at the rosters.
That's right. Mr. B versus JJ. And what a matchup between these two with former pros on both sides. It has come down to this. Mr. B, Asian, Recited, Kiru, and Mike W. Man, Mike W to the league. That is not something we had, I think a lot of people had expected at the very, very start of this Challenger Series. But the roster stacked around him has turned out to be a fantastic grouping.
Yeah, no kidding. And like this 2 sets of teams is something that's been a constant on the Siege Double Shot for a really long time. I think you were doing some looking at when we first cast JJ. When was that again?
Yeah, that's right. JJ was on the Wildcard Aces roster back when they got picked up as the Wichita Wolves and played in the OCS, the very first major that they had. And we got a chance to cast that. That was first on April 22nd, and then that final game that they won, Wildcard Aces won May 2nd. It was 2 years ago that we got to cast JJ for the first time.
Wow. The story writes itself, Run. The story writes itself. Okay, well, speaking about the story writing itself, let's take a look at the battleground. It's a best of 3 today. Gotta take it in 2. Or got to take the 2 to send yourself onto the Pro League. First map of the day is going to be Bank. It's going to be followed up with Kafe, and then should fate deem it necessary, and all of the last ones have, we go to Clubhouse next.
That's right, and my friend, it's time. The game has started. We're going to see Bank to start it off. Fantastic, and basically through the ban phase as well. When the players were ready, they freaking sent it. So it's time.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Bank to start us out, folks. It's one of our favorite maps, and I know you hear us say that a lot, but that's because we only see a couple of different maps currently in the pool, right? But Bank is one of them because it's got so much open space, right? It's a tough map to attack. You have to have window control when you're taking 2F. You got to have some sort of lurk play coming in. When we were watching MADX, it was stomping coming in through the garage with the Nook. So, I mean, primary, secondary, very solidified, and then, of course, that turn site kind of taking the reins on being one of those big primary sites, right, Ron?
Yeah, that's right, and we didn't watch through the ban phase, but the fact that we saw JJ & Co. Revelations ban out, the Blackbeard, the shield is gone, and then the roam clear, so good, Dokkaebi so good on Bank, which is that full 3-floor map, and then Revelations sort of matching what we had saw from M80 over and over. Blackbeard and Valkyrie, and then the Cade gonna make it maybe a little bit easier for that attacking team to open up now. They're slowly getting these hatches as Revelations. We saw this on Clubhouse in that final round that they left some of the vertical hatches open on top of the the kitchen hatch was open, and I think that was part of what led JJ & Co. on attack to win that map. They're following the same playbook here, which I think a little bit dangerous for Revelations to start off.
Yeah, potentially, right? But they're leaning into the meta on the side of into the intel meta here on the side of Revelations, both Echo and Mozzie being utilized here. Now we've seen this second floor elevator E2 played several times out of several teams lately, and it's still not quite getting sussed out. So there's 2 of them over there ready to take some combat should they push up any closer.
That's right. I mean, you're watching this one develop from a defensive perspective. I mean, Mike W. playing the mute, holding on, hiding behind that defensive utility. The combination of the Echo and the Mozzie, they brought along a ton of intel to replace the Valkyrie that was banned out, and then the Goyo canisters. They were absolutely pivotal during the matches yesterday. They were pivotal on the matches earlier today. Goyo is just so good. Right now, turning out to be, I think, one of the best defenders.
Yeah, no kidding. And one of the best reworks that has happened recently. Nobody's a fan of the Blackbeard, sorry. Except for the people that use it. First kill's going to go out. Rival's going to take Mike W off the board. Means main advantage is going to head into the hands of JJ and Co. And they're looking to get active here on the attack round. This is a big first pick, Whiskey.
That's huge. I mean, it's the utility that's already down. They don't need to worry about using it. Not active. Not that the Azami, interestingly enough, she's not being played, but this is basically control upstairs now. Second and first floor all in control for JJ and Co. on the attacking side, but recited. That's the problem with everyone being downstairs. The C4s from below. The good news for JJ on attack is no more of them left. No explosives, no extra utility. They just have to worry about what's already been placed and the guns in their hand.
Okay, Yin Candela's starting to make the chaos spew down forth, and they're going to take a couple of look at some of these other hatches. So a bit of faux pressure here from the hatch above garage as they made a drop. Now stayed into vault. Mr. Bree's going to find Twist off the board with a well-played shotgun. Asian's going to find Emilio, and that's going to put the man advantage heavily now into the hands of Revelations with just 30 seconds left. Goil canisters starting to ring out. Smoke canisters starting to block, which means time starting to tick down. Deimos does get in and starts to go for a bit of a plant, but Rival off the board, and Kiru's going to find Snakes, and that's going to be it. Round number 1 down on the basement, done and dusted.
Still proving to be that bank, basement, heavily defender-sided, and the change-up between these two teams are not going to change that overall site characteristic. The reason Revelations plays it first. So if you're just joining us, welcome everyone to the grand final NAL Challenger Series. I can't believe we have been here, and I'm going to, when we get that next break, go through and add up how many games, how much time we have spent here working through the Challenger Series since the beginning of March. Somebody's Pro League hopes are going to be answered today. It was a real deal. You could win your spot into Pro League, and one of these two teams is going to be there.
And so instead of opting for that second floor, which has become a bit solved, right? A bit repeated quite a few times, you know how to attack it. So they're going to take it down to the first floor. For this open area, which is what I was talking about earlier, something we've been seeing a ton out of teams lately. So what do they bring to the table? It's kind of a eclectic lineup, right? Resida puts himself on the cap cam. We like seeing that come out early, especially if you're going to be facing an attack team that is exceedingly aggressive, shooting gaps, taking quick space, earning that real estate very quickly. Then back it up with the static warfare of Azami. Mr. B onto the Mira, still got that intel denial into the hands of Mute, and then the big one, the potential, oh man, what would you say, high risk, high reward play here. Vigil going to be brought out by Kiru.
Okay. You're taking a look at, I mean, you've got I agree with you, a little bit of the eclectic lineup, a combination of everything. I like the fact that they brought out the Azami. We talked about how good she is, and then recited playing the Capcan relatively early. They need something to slow down this JJ and Co attack. It's a good choice here. Now, you said it, the Vigil playing a little bit of the wild card, holding down to that teller's office area. They do have a pretty decent hold upstairs with Mr. B and Asian on that second floor and recited downstairs. Capcan doesn't have a C4 anymore, though, so a little bit of a loss. Going to try and take out the doorways the easy way.
Yep, and so they smoke off the Mira and a chance to potentially get in and start putting some pressure up on that second floor. They brought a pretty good lineup here on the side of the attack as well. Deimos for that roam clear, claiming that verticality with Ram being on the board, open everything up with Ace. And of course, JJ going on to that Capitao, that smokes, that fires, that allows you to take some of that space against some of these devilish operators on the defensive side.
A little bit of a slowdown here on the attack as they're working on trying to find their way into the building, covering. They still have not identified where Kiru is playing. He's not running the Boss G, running that K1A. Want to have a few more shots in play, but you can hear the Boogie shredding upstairs, just opening that floor up, opening up the vertical. Going to give them some line of sight down to that first floor, but man, they have got to get Asian out of this corner, just stacked with those Kibas.
Man, look at what he's done, too. He put a huge static warfare, some trench warfare up top, which delayed time. It's 57 seconds left, and he kept enough Kibas on board that he can put himself right back into that static position over on the top of the chassis there. And look at that, just completely sought out. One of the things is, that's a pretty accepted strat right there by Azami. So they find themselves the first pick as JJ and Co goes up in the main advantage.
I thought I heard one of the cap cans go off as well and take down JJ to half. So they still have got to watch out for that. That's the opening, but man, Mike W walks right into the LMG of JJ just as we were talking about it. They're gaining a little bit of space at this point. Snake picking up Mr. B. That is a huge pick now. It's a 2v4, but wow, the flank coming in.
That's right, all the way until it doesn't anymore. Kiru, the last alive in a 1v2, and they're going to start going for the plant. Snakes is going to take him off the board. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the snakes bite.
Damn, all right, that was a huge round, and interesting enough, I know we didn't talk about it right at the beginning, but the fact that they played, for sure, the tertiary side. I know you said that top floor, a little bit of the solved site, but still, it's a little bit of a risk, and on bank right now, JJ and Co had their number playing off on that mid site, so now they're going to try and rotate back upstairs. They're going to try and play what was widely considered the primary for a long time here on bank before basement and those mid floors started to rise in prominence. So the hold they've got, man, this time bringing out all of those options to deflect the sight lines, the castle and the Azami stacked.
Yeah, and I love the castle play up here on the second floor. Not so much used for an extension, but more for a bunker down, right? Place a castle barricade right in the middle of sight. Allows you to deflect from that main square take. Putting them onto the windows is going to force the attacking team to use some gadgets and some utility to get them off, especially because you can put them on where he's at right now, the banana windows, where Glass is going to have a little bit more difficulty trying to push him off of that B chassis.
All right, as they're working through this hold, you can see all of the JJ & Co attackers pushing on, holding these repels. That's going to be an important part of this. The big question is, Revelations, are they going to play that aggressive style we saw yesterday? The run-outs, the jump-outs. Are these windows going to be a problem right now? They've got the Claymores in play, and right now, looking for the ATM side note, they're holding on to try and take down the repellers. So that is a huge focus for this JJ & Co attack.
Yeah, look at that angle to get that. You got a little bit of deception on the board as Rival is bringing into that Sens. Kind of been a fun little mainstay here of, oh, look at this. The Sens goes out. They've got
no way!
It's a 5v5 plant. They're just going to go ahead and send it. Crossfires are in place. Plant's going down, and all of a sudden, we're in a 5v5 close plant. C4 goes awry, and that is a problem if you're the defense. Warden goggles go on, so you can try to take this pressure here at the top square, but they don't even need to come in. They can just play the window simulator now run. Takes one off. That's going to be JJ finds inside. It does get answered back as two go down. Now they're starting to go for
the defuse.
Oh my gosh, and they're going to get it because it's a 4v1. No chance to bring them off the board. Post plant denied.
Defender mission successful.
No way. No way. Man, Recited says nah in chat because, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised as well. A hell of an attack there by JJ & Co.'s setup. Have the Sens in play, the very quick execute, but then, unfortunate, taking those window shots, losing a couple of those battles, and then the run out. It was, you could do it when you're in a 3v1 scenario, throw literal bodies at the problem and win. Revelations, that's a huge win on the second floor.
Started out 2-1. If you're JJ & Co., you feel good about getting your first one in the round. Rotate, head back down to the basement to start this process again. And this time, it looks like the attack's bringing a little bit of dedication towards getting Oh wait, did they go basement or did they go? Yeah, they went basement with an extension up top. Ooh, this will be fun. So the castle and the Azami in place and the Fenrir. That means you can't
10
just
seconds
rush
left
into
before
sight.
insertion.
That means there's C4s to be able to be utilized. Hatches are open for
5
an
seconds
easy
to
answer
go.
back, which means you have to take the second floor to be able to put
Attacker's
pressure
objective
onto
is to
these
defuse
first
the
4
bomb.
players. And there's quite a few of them up there. And Mr. B looking to play spoiler with Mozzie at the top.
Yeah, you said it. Big extension here again. The Mozzie upstairs making sure that he can catch any of those drones, keep himself hidden for just a little while longer, but JJ bringing out the Monty this time. The shield play pushing downstairs. A little bit of a change-up in the way that we saw the basement played, but it was a heavy defensive win on that previous round. The only place JJ and Co found success currently on the first floor, but they are making significant progress quick. And boy, this seems to be a hallmark of the Revelations defense. Look, both of those walls unreinforced, and it appears to be free. Are they going to walk right in and plant again, or is just Revelations baiting them in?
And there it is. Monty gets up behind a quick flash.
No way.
Back plant here as Buck starts to get down. Another 5v5 plant. Let's see if they can pull it off this time. The Agent of Chaos that is. Oh my gosh. Agent finds one. Resida finds one. A C4 rings out. Kira takes one. They're going for a team ace here. Man, Mike W finds the last one. They're able to easily retake this, and that is 2 post plants done and
Defenders have
dusted.
disabled the bomb diffuser. Defenders win.
No way.
It's tough here, Whiskey. Like,
just shocking.
here's the thing, though. I mean, a 5v5 plant, while has its merits, I like it. It's fun. It's exciting, but it is not very practical, especially when you're talking about which team is going to be making it to Pro League, right? Which team is going to be going on to taking on the pros. Back-to-back 5v5 plants ain't the way. You got to get that opening pick. You got to take space. You got to have your crosses set up, and ideally even maybe a second kill in place before you're getting going. Because the reason that they're retaking so easy is because they have all of this uncontested space. They're able to just flood sight like they're the attackers coming in. And then it seems like JJ and Co has kind of been caught off guard by that retake scenario.
That is just absolutely wild. Caught off guard. I mean, I think they're completely expecting the retake, but Revelation's just doing a better job right now. I feel like they're just baiting this team into it, right? Challenging them. Go ahead, try the quick plant. We'll give you all this space. We won't even reinforce the walls. You can walk right in, bucket open, but then the C4s come out, distracted with their good fortune, and then Revelation's completely shutting it down from a defensive perspective. JJ and Co, they've had the 5v5 crazy early plants. That plant was going down 55 seconds into the round. 2:05 left when that plant went down. It's just Revelations right now playing seems like a little bit of a mind game on top of just some great shooting.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't feel like Revelations is going out and winning it, but JJ and Co is going out and losing it. Like, this is classic JJ strat. We got to see something different in the grand finals here, right? How many grand finals appearances has JJ had? It's a ton, and they seem to start to fall apart when they get to the end game here. So we need to see a bit of an adaptation here out of JJ and Co. This one's gonna run away before you got started.
Yeah, I agree, my friend. Whether or not it's classic JJ, I know there's been a lot of this talk, right? Not being able to close it out, not being able to, always the bridesmaid, never the bride kind of a scenario where they make it to that final battle and just can't close it out. This is not the place you want to do it. Yes, money on the line. There's a ton of money available here for the winning and the second place team, but no one wants that. When you've made it this far, you are one game away from Pro League. Both of these teams fighting to the finish, and that the Mr. B Mike W lineup right now is just absolutely on fire. JJ's Co is going to have to fight harder than they ever have to get that win.
All of that work, and he still falls down to the bottom square. A little bit of impact EMPs to get rid of some of those bandit charges, which means they're going to get a little investment into trying to get that wall opened up. And I'll have something to say about it. He's going to slow down that process.
This is the team. This JJ & Co. team is the one that knocked out M80 yesterday. And look at that. Perfectly tricked on the main wall. All the Selma charges lost. And maybe he still got one left. But all of that utility that they had placed to open up those sight lines from square, gone. You see Snake watching, using those ram wide open spots. They're going to get one. And with this playing behind the mirror, though, they've got to manage that.
So he gets close up onto it. A smoke goes out to skew the eyes of the other team. A little bit of blind as they push in. Another smoke goes out. Now it means they can put themselves in place for a potential plant again. Now, this time, they've claimed the man advantage. Focus here. A couple of shots in. Snakes is going to take the side off the board. Mike W finds JJ. Does put us into a 4-3, into a 3-2, into a 3-1
No way.
as Asian goes down. So now it's all on to Kiru. 1 second left. He's going to start going for the plant. Twist is able to confirm the kill onto Asian. Whoa, a second shot. Now into a 1v1. It's another post plant.
Snake gets it!
Snake is finally able to get it. And JJ & Co., they take their 2. They hit their quota, which means their defensive half can make them be able to breathe a little bit easier.
Jesus, both of them on that tertiary site, they pick it up. That was a wild ending to that round. Kiru almost comes up with it. Boy, I think he's sitting currently at 7-2 right now, having an incredible game to start off with. And Revelations, man, their C4s have been on point. I think we've seen a C4 kill every round at this point. Just right now, hitting. Now, you said it though, JJ & Co. managed to find their 2. They won on the tertiary side, both times picking up wins. That standard quota in their favor. So now, this one right here, a little bit of icing on the cake if they can pull it off. Revelations got to try and hold off and prevent that 3-3 split if JJ & Co. can win upstairs. I like the lineup they're bringing, except I know you're going to say it. Tachanka out, Mr. B bringing it out. He didn't bring the LMG, though. I think that's the changeup that's going to make it work.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think Tachanka with an LMG is terrible. It's just a garbage play. Tachanka is not a good player. He's okay at denial, but he is so slow, especially with that LMG in hand. But when you switch the gun, there's a little bit more speed, there's a little bit more ADS time. You can respond quicker to the engagements. Could be the right call, although I'm still going to be a Smoke fan either way.
I mean, Smoke's so good at that area denial and really on bank. He's basically doesn't have a bad place to be played on this map. So the question, JJ running that Monty, is this going to be the place where the shield comes out? Is this going to be the place where that works? They brought along the Zofia. They don't have anything to deal with the Mira. That feels like a little bit of a misstep on the JJ & Co. attack side. I guess they do have the Hibana. That's a good point. Can they get her in a position to be able to open those up? Right now, working on that Kento wall. They're going to get that piece open.
Yep, that's right. A little bit of long distance to be had here, which means they can start putting pressure onto. And here's where the Tachanka is going to come into play. It's going to try to stop this Monty pushing up the spiral stairs, and at the moment it's going to delay him quite good, and they've got 3 people able to respond to this specific scenario. One in E3, one still sitting in Trump, protected by those castle barricades. One of those does fall. Now the pressure's starting to mount, and then you have somebody still off long desk as well that's holding on to that mirror, and that is the aforementioned Tachanka.
All right. Boy, opponent detected outdoors, the run out, man, but just resighted in play, and no way, he's gonna lock himself outside using the Kibas.
No, he's given himself a safe passage back because almost assuredly there was somebody sitting at that main lobby door waiting for him to make that traverse back down
no.
to the jewelry. So it had to waste a couple of Kiva barriers, but it resulted in a kill, and not just a kill, it resulted in a rival kill, and that's huge. So Monty makes his way up through the fires, and look at that, that's one of the problems. All of a sudden, that fire doesn't matter so much anymore because he's taken up that space. Now, he doesn't have any help from the homie, and that's going to be Mike W to take JJ off the board. Twist goes down, and, I mean, even though he took that space, it wasn't worth it because man advantage is huge now into the hands of Revelations as they sit in a 5v2, a huge mountain to climb back. Not even going to find the first one. Asian's going to bite the head off the Snake, which means it's all going to be onto the hands of Emilio. Try to bring this one back. Flashes go out as he somehow takes the bottom one, but Kiro's going to take the head off Emilio and call it a flawless round.
Geez, what a way to put a pin in that final piece of the Revelations defensive half to start this thing off. If you're just joining us, welcome everyone. It is map 1 of the grand final here in the Challenger Series. Only one of these teams is going to make it to Pro League, and right now, Revelations, JJ & Co., I'd say a little bit locked in battle as we get the standard split on map 1. Revelations, though, finishing that defensive half off with a flawless victory. I think, again, a little bit of a misstep there dealing with the Mira. Hibana not able to really take any space, but I think the biggest piece of this so far is Revelations is just hitting their shots. They're hitting some nasty shots across the board. Kiru 9-2-1, Mike W 5-3-1, Asian 7-2. Right, they're just hitting some of these crazy shots, and right now JJ & Co is just struggling to win the ones. Now on defense, going to change this thing up, bring a little bit of a similar lineup that we saw from the Revelations on their side with no Goyo. That to me is maybe the piece that's going to be a misstep.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Right, Goyo has been so instrumental in just delaying. And one of the things that Revelations is going to bring to the table, specifically with the lineup that they're bringing as well, the Glass and the Twitch, it means they're going to get active early. They're going to try to take advantage of some of those missteps, try to play off the nerves of JJ & Co. and gain that man advantage and then capitalize with some real estate hate. So we'll see how they're going to play it off. It's going to be Glass in through the garage to start us out.
I love the Glass play. Right now, it feels like Revelations is playing with a little bit more confidence coming into this game in general, both on the defensive side and now on the offensive side. Emilio's going to take this long-range fight, the DMR battle versus the ACOG. It's going to happen. I love this throwing down the smoke, though, to try and win this. To me, JJ & Co. just played a last best of 3. It was a battle that they barely won. A double overtime map 3 required. Revelations got to sit and watch all of that happen. Maybe they're coming in cold, but maybe right now it sort of feels like JJ & Co. is a bit, I don't know, maybe we call fatigued at this point. This is their 4th map of Siege. Intense. Going to make it to Pro League Siege.
That's right. So, man, 2 best of 3s. It definitely, the fatigue can start to come in. The mental mistakes will happen. This is the first to go down here on the side of the defense. Trying to get active here with that DMR. Haven't been sought out just yet. Now they have taken some space a little bit up here on the first floor. And the second floors, they're trying to suss out any roamers. But everybody has bunkered back down to site already. So, first floor, second floor, free for the taking. Your side is able to take Rival down, which means body balance is going to tip into the hands of Revelations.
Man, that's crazy. Loving the LMG right now. That is a little bit surprising. Oh, wow, you said it. JJ running his smoke. He's going to be this important piece, but he's only got 1 smoke canister left, and there is still a minute of gameplay. That is not going to be enough to completely deny this garage push, this garage take. And Mike W holding down the cross in server, and it appears nobody on the JJ & Co. defense in a position to push that.
Oh, man, so now into a 5-2 scenario. 5-1, really. JJ goes down uncovered, but not going to be able to be brought back up. Hero going to find a double for his trouble. Huge play by the attack, and now they find themselves really just kind of dominating Bank, Whiskey.
There's a lot of people, I wouldn't say preying on the downfall of Kiru. There's a lot of Kiru haters out there right now, but this battle, he's finding the shots when he needs to. 11-2. That is a hell of a start. Snake trying to keep his team alive at 7-5, but really the big story down there on the other side, Twist, Emilio, and Rival. Rival was one of the guys that helped carry JJ & Co. forward on that previous series. He was the interview during that at the final after they won that double overtime victory just a half hour ago. He's the guy that has got to step up in a huge way for JJ & Co. They are not winning their gunfights to start off. You can win via util. We saw a little bit of that happen, but ultimately they've got to win some of these ones.
Yeah, that's going to be step number 1. You got to win your ones, right? You got to win the gunfights. So, 1 away from that coveted match point scenario already on map number 1. This is a tough place to find yourself if you're JJ & Co. But also remember, this is a best of 3. This is not a sprint towards the end. You're playing the long game here. So, yes, map 1, not quite going your way. Need some adaptation, show some promise as we head into map number 2 potentially.
Oh, it's not a best of 5. I know normally we see these grand finals and Rainbow Six Siege have really settled on the best of 5 as the format, but because there's so much Siege that has been played up to this point, including another best of 3 earlier today, it's a best of 3 to finish it out. We're going to see Bank, Kafe, and if required, Clubhouse as the decider. Bank, this is Revelation's map pick. We expect them to come out big. We expect them to come out and win their map pick early on in this map pool. That's what they wanted to play. JJ & Co. beat M80X yesterday on Kafe. We expect them to perform extremely well on that map. So right now, we're setting ourselves up for needing all 3, but JJ & Co. has got to step up. We said it in a big way right now to at least put some pressure on this team and keep the confidence alive.
Okay, that's I think it's the key here. A little bit of confidence, a little bit of knowing that you can do it. Now, on the side of the defense, they do bring out the smoke, so they're interested in keeping that that quick plant out, or at least denying the plant once it starts to get into place. Two-brow to help kind of solidify that hold onto the walls, and then I think the interesting play, the high risk, high reward, Oric's going to be here, looking to get active as they put a Deimos ping on him immediately.
Man, as we're walking this first minute of gameplay down, Asian running that Deimos, so good at playing the vertical piece. We'll see whether or not this is going to be the difference maker. They're spending a lot of time upstairs working the roam clear and the map clear. It's one of the things that we saw in the JJ attacks. They try to take advantage of some of that quick space, just gain a little bit, but right now, JJ & Co. not playing sort of that same strategy. Everybody on the first floor around. No one upstairs on the second floor. No one in the basement either to try and put some danger from below. Only Twist running that C4.
That's a little bit of a danger. You're absolutely right. Now, as the Blitz is poised, ready to start making that push in, Emilio is going to find the first kill on the hero, Mike W. Gone dusted, and that's going to be Kira to take Emilio off the board as the trade rings out, which means those Fenrir gadgets are going to stay where they're at. 4-4 as we sit. It's the last 6-8. Starting to count down. Twist able to find one. Snakes is going to take Kiro off the board, so the main advantage now heavy into the hands of JJ & Co. as they find themselves in a 4-2. Just got to hold on for the last 49 seconds, and a quick answer back. Recited with the knowledge that he's sitting in E2 finds one. That's a little bit closer to equalizing.
There's that C4, man. We said Twist was the only guy with one. He's going to take down Mr. B by coming up huge just when they needed it. At C4, perfectly timed, well placed, and man, just backed up. And that was it. The big win there on that tertiary site. JJ & Co. coming up big, finally picking up one on their defensive half. It's what they needed, my friend.
Yep, that was what they needed. Now it's 5-3 looks a lot closer than 5-2. And I know it's just one round, but that puts you within 2. That puts you within striking distance of potentially tying this one back up. So now you're going to do it with the basement. And here it is. That's that favorite strat of ours whiskey. It's that Maestro Goyo combo.
It works so well here in the basement, and oh no, Mike W saying rehosts coming out. It must have had some sort of a problem, so that is what we are going to see, a little bit of a rehost, and we said it's following along with the co-streaming of the major this time, so we're not going to get all of that info. So we're going to take a quick break right now. 5-3 on Bank.
That's right. Sit back, relax, because when we come back, we're bringing you the end of the very first map. Ayo.
Let's go.
Guys, we're back. Look at that. Wasn't that an epically fast rehost, John?
An epically crazy free cam. We were like falling through the map for a minute there. That was so weird.
Speaking of epic, Maestro now in play from Emilio.
All right, what's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players, in what has been the quickest rehost of all time. We are back at it, back in action, and we're back with that Maestro Goyo combo, leaning into that area denial with the smoke in hand as well, and an attention to keeping those hatches closed. Rival on the two-brow.
Yeah, I love this changeup, and you said it. Very quick rehost. It's unfortunate we lose all the stats, but that's good for the JJ and Co. Sort of resets the mental. We saw this a little bit. Emilio had crashed twice during previous games, and at the very end of that third match as well. So there's been a little bit of problems, and it has been a momentum changer. We have seen that just change the way that the game is being played. A little bit of a mental reset here. JJ and Co. needed it, right? When we're talking about 5-3, it certainly isn't one-sided at all right now, but it doesn't hurt to take a little break and talk about it.
Spy in the chat, don't worry. Mike W had 50 kills already, so I think we've got a Mike W fan. Hey, this is the map that we watched where Mike W on the basement hid underneath the hatch and got himself a 4K, I think. It just absolutely go to gameplay.
It was that was the play. We even saw it replicated. That one's gonna go down in history as one of the best, certainly. So at this point, yeah, we're gonna see the is Mike W gonna make that same play? Not this time. Currently running, holding that hatch, taking some shots from upstairs, but. Will you take a look at where the JJ & Co. defense is at? Everybody into the basement except for Twist, playing that Azami, holding on to the open area. He's the only guy, so there's plenty of opportunity here for Revelations to gain some map control, and they're looking to push Twist out. He makes that drop down, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Pressure from all sides started to ring in. So the play here, he wasted a minute and a half of the time. Not bad. So now they do have a free hatch, of course. So the two-brow only going to be important towards that main hatch into sight where that util dump starts to happen, and where, of course, Mike W did have that coveted play. They didn't get that Maestro drone because he gets taken off, because the clutch drone gets taken off as it jumps through. Unfortunate, so not going to have that intel.
All right, my friends, sitting at 5-3, this final minute going down. Look at this this setup he's got, opening up, trying to gain some space here in. They haven't dealt with the Maestro cams, though, this final 50 seconds. I haven't seen that that Hibana setup with 2 on the side, 4 on the top.
Interesting.
Okay,
so little can opener to open it up. We're still sitting 5-all, 37 seconds. So you got to know this is going to be an absolute bloodbath when it starts to get going. Smoke canisters in the hands of JJ. He's still got 2 left, so well placed. This is going to deny them pretty well. Smokes go out. They're forced back yet again, so now it puts it into 22 seconds. They're going to have to try to catch one.
What is Mike W doing?
JJ down. Rival answers back. Snake takes Asian off the board, which does put the main advantage into the hands of JJ and Co. A quick push in here by the Blitz as Hibana starts to go for the plant, but Twist is there to answer back. Besides taking off the board. A quick shot now into a 2v3. It's a post plant. A C4 rings out. Mr. B is done. A Vector from Snakes takes down Kiru. Nobody else there to respond, which means we're going to get one closer to tying this up.
Defenders disabled the diffuser.
All right, JJ and Co. pick up one after a rehost again. Man, I don't want to say that that's part of the strat here, but that one working out well in their favor.
Ooh, 5-4. Now this is the chance to go to Pro League, Whiskey. This is the type of game that you want. The back and forth. It started to look a little dicey when we got into this one, right? A little bit of mistakes on the side of JJ and Co. Although, I mean, standard split came about, so it really is the gameplay. But the momentum has definitely shifted. That mindset has definitely changed here in the back half of the round as JJ and Co. has settled into their defensive strat. So now they take it upstairs, and they're going to see a very familiar lineup here. You're bringing out, we talked about the castle early on. You're bringing out the castle to funnel those attackers into those specific areas and guard yourself as you hold on to the site. JJ bringing out the mirror. We've seen it utilized in a couple of different ways here on the top floor, including seeing some long desk play, seeing some long desk that guards the spiral play, and of course the one where you're guarding the windows, which is where JJ's putting it at currently. And then the last piece of the puzzle is Azami, who will eventually hole up, I believe, inside of that stock area, just really creating some trench warfare that is difficult to get in and deal with.
The fact that we saw JJ and Co pick up 4 rounds versus Forsaken at the end to win that final map, they came in with what felt to me like just a ton of momentum, a ton of confidence. We didn't see it to start off this map. They struggled a little bit to get going. They picked up a little bit of speed now here, tying up 2-2 in the last 4 rounds here versus Revelation. So they have got the opportunity, still stacked 5 apiece right now. Revelation's working the flank control upstairs. So this that mid-floor site has definitely been an interesting one, a back and forth between these teams. JJ just certainly right now a little bit better at holding on. And again, if you're just joining us, this is Revelation's map pick. We're expecting them to come in and win here as the start off for this best of 3. Kafe is JJ's map pick, which we're going to see next.
Okay, so a little bit of damage done. There's the castle that comes out. Mike W is able to find the first kill as snakes go down, and that's pivotal, that's capital, that's Warden off the board. So any of those smokes, any of those flashes, they're going to be real important. JJ, though, stops the grenade mid-throw as he's able to take Mike W down and solidify the equalizer on the body count.
And you said it, equalized here with a minute 20 halfway through this round. This defense still, you can see outside the building, Asian's the only one who's got any piece of, and I wouldn't even call it control because he's making his way in through top square, but they still have the deployable in play. They're going to need the shield of Resighted to try and push it, but Rival, we said he needed to step up. We said he needed to be the guy. He takes down Kiru. That is a huge pick here for the defense.
That's right, the flash comes out, C4 to try to end it, and they're going to find him from behind. Rival, you called it. He gets it. Emilio to take Asian on the trade, and then 1 left to go, and they find it. And Whiskey, do we find ourselves tied up right now on map number 1?
And I was honestly a little worried when we're sitting at 5-2, that opening JJ and Co defensive round they lose. Certainly seemed like Revelations had everything going their way. The rehost and a little bit of time has turned the tides. JJ and Co have come back in a big way. That is 3 rounds in a row for them after that rehost. So they picked up first floor basement 2F. That is the full round rotate done. They found a way to win versus the Revelations attack. All 3 of the major sites. They're going to go back to this first floor to start it off again, and man, finding their footing here on map 1.
Ooh, okay, man, this is, yeah, you said it. We expect to find ourselves here at the beginning of this match, but here we are. Thanks for the hydration. So, you can see that tertiary site as they head down to the first floor, and really just kind of going to be betting on that same strat that they keep utilizing. The only difference being Rival going to stick the lead, and I like the pick, right? If you're seeing a Monty, if you're seeing a Blitz coming in, Traps is the way to go. Bring out the Legion, bring out the Ella, something's going to make those shields have to come down so you can take those shots. Good adaptation here by the defense. On the side of the attack, something we've been seeing quite a bit more as well, Sens back on the board. I love the Sens play. Distraction is key. You can take some really critical push points off the back of somebody holding on and waiting. And if you got a Monty in hand, you got a plant capability.
That's crazy. We had not seen a lot of Sens play. It came out as a part of that initial first push when they had that quick plant upstairs on the 2F. That didn't work, though. Revelations just seemed to do a little bit better job baiting this team into sort of strange defensive plays. So from this perspective, JJ and Co they've changed this around. Wouldn't say right now, I mean, they don't have a huge lurk. They're playing very tight on site. No one upstairs on the 2F again. No one in the basement. I was going to say no C4s except for Twist has still got his 1. It came up big on that first win they found on the first floor on round 8. So this is the time to see that happen again.
Yeah, potentially a couple of pre-fires through, and we've got him stuck here in the closet as Monty is being stymied by the smokes being brought out, but that's 2 of them wasted, Whiskey. Now there's only 1 left, and we still got a ton of time for this attack team, for Revelations to play around with. So they draw out that last smoke, then they can start to concentrate on trying to take some of that space, gain a little bit, and then put themselves in a plant behind the counter.
Still stacked 5 apiece. I mean, these 2 teams, we haven't seen a lot of early interactions on most of these rounds. They are playing a little bit more of the tactical side, waiting, even unless I get into those post plants. So, no way!
No way! What a C4! You called it out as being impactful. Well, he finds himself another one. And that's going to be Kiru that goes down to it. A little bit of damage now done to the Monty as he gets stuck by a Legion Goon. A couple of bullets bring out as a grenade comes in, and he's going to find the kill for it. Asian takes Emilio off the board, and that's going to be the equalizer now as we put ourselves into a 4-4. Legion on the run, but they're going to find him. Mike W takes down Rival now. Main advantage into the hands of Revelations. It's 42 seconds to try to get in, and Monty is still alive, but he's still being lesioned. So he has to back off one more time. Resided goes down as he puts himself into a 3-3 twist. Good for 2.
What?
Live forfeit. Twist on the triple kill now. Potentially on pace for the ace, except for one gets taken down. So it's going to be Monty all that's left. JJ's going to bring out a shotgun and say good night and sleep tight.
What a play. Twist going absolutely nuclear there on round 11. They pick up 4 rounds in a row and put JJ & Co. on match point round 1. What a turnaround from back on round 7. We said it, 5-2 was looking a little bit dire for JJ & Co. They hadn't stepped up at all. We needed this team. They needed their players to start winning some gunfights. They absolutely have. What a turnaround in such a short period of time. But obviously on the back of that, I think that was a 4K from Twist, capped off by a C4 that we said he had to hit. Man, they pulled it off in basement. The last place we're going to do battle if JJ & Co. wins. If Revelation can pick this round up, we're going to see overtime on map 1.
Bomb located by attackers.
Man, what a turnaround. What a freaking turnaround. Oh, Tough Goyo already goes off pre-round, so that's just going to be 1 down and dusted. Means they're going to have to put another one up there or only rely on the 1 to get it done. This is the strat that we saw from them before. Azami holds up top, making it incredibly difficult, wasting that time, being that time torture on the first floor, and then you've got 3 in the hands of Area Denial.
Attackers are heading out to
Maestro,
defuse a
Smoke.
bomb.
That is a formidable combo.
We've talked about this. When the teams get at this level, you win by taking advantage of the mistakes that the other team is making. And the fact that you lose a Goyo early from Snake, that's unfortunate. And whether or not that's going to be the difference maker, Revelation capitalizing on any of those mistakes could be the turning point here. And they only need a little bit. This is a great team doing battle. The Mr. B, Mike W roster doing battle versus JJ & Co. for Pro League. What a world we're living in.
Man, you said it. You can't write the script any better than this, my friend. So, looking to get some of that top floor action. Nobody up on the second floor, so they're going to take it with some relative ease. In fact, we've only got 2 down in sight. So that Maestro and JJ, the 2 operators that you want for denying that plant, which means you're going to have to deal with some first floor presence that has a heavy investment. And that C4 already gone.
Man, interesting. Seemed like walking through the beepers, baiting out this defense a little bit, trying to get somebody to make the swing, listening for any of the movement upstairs. But right now, no one holding down this area with Mike W. Gaining tons of space, but not the space that they need at this point. Look at this, tossing the Ying in. It's gonna does not flash at Mr. B. I thought he was gonna flash his teammates there.
Yeah, and look at this. Twist was caught him unaware. Azami was able to get back down to the half.
No way.
Good. No way. Finds 2. Does finally get taken down by Resided as the vertical control is going to take him off the board, which is why you take that 2F. But damage done, right? It's 4-3. We still got 1 minute and 16. Now they have to start working on potentially getting some of that stuff dealt with down below, including those Goyos, those Maestro cams, and the smoke still has 3.
We heard Light Rose and Jasmine talk about this during the previous series. All of this defensive util can win rounds. We saw it. JJ and Co come up big, but they weren't able to deal with all of the defensive utility downstairs. Same story here. You still have 4 defenders left alive. Revelations, they still have one more of these Flores. It's going to be the last opportunity. They're going to go for the cam rather than the Goyo canister. And baiting out some of this smokes, clearing it out. It's the last 35 seconds, my friend.
And he did bait it out all of the smokes. Now the Goyo's done, which means they can put themselves in position for a turtle plant here, and that's exactly what they're doing. Smoke's going out, some fire's going out. Kira's able to take JJ off the board, which does equalize on the number count, but now we're into a post plant. One goes down, Recited is done for. Now into a 3-2, as they got to force themselves into a bit of that retake. Rival takes Mr. B off the board, so it's going to be up to Kiru to try to save this round, to save this map. They start defusing. They're going to get it. A pistol pop. He's going to ping around the corner, but it's
Rival!
not going to happen. Rival's going to take it, and JJ and Co. are going to take map number 1.
Defenders disabled the diffuser.
Oh,
Defenders
wow.
win.
Just a roller coaster of a final round. JJ and Co. come up big, a 7-5 victory in what looked like it was going to be a Revelations win. We said at the rehost that Rival needed to step up in a big way. He turns out, he pulls out all the stops, manages 7-2 post rehost to pull his team back, and well, he did the work, put it in. Well played on his part, and congrats to JJ for picking up map 1 of the grand final here in Challenger Series.
No kidding. Not the way we expected with the way this one started. Not the way at all. JJ and Co., they're coming up. They want it. They're hungry. And they showed it on map number 1. Map 2 coming up. It's Kafe. It's JJ's pick. So now it's all on the line for Revelations, or this could be done and dusted in 2. Sit back, relax, folks, because when we come back, we're going to bring you the very second map. Ayo.
Let's go.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It is all on the line for Revelations as we head to JJ & Co.'s map pick for what could be the final map going on the path to Pro League, the gateway to greatness. JJ & Co. looks strong on map number 1. Will the bridesmaid finally say I do in the biggest moment of their entire Siege careers? We're going to find out right here. What's up, Whiskey?
Yeah, and welcome back. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for the grand final for Challenger Series. This is it. We have been through 6 weeks of games over and over and over. More than 400 teams competing to finally get down to the last. Now, we didn't talk about this during the setup, but JJ & Co. Revelations is a rematch of one of these Swiss stage games. That was a best of 3 as well. Both of those teams 2-0 going into Swiss, fighting for their spot in this double elimination playoff bracket. And Revelations picked it up in a 2-1 victory. And notable out of that series, they played Kafe, which was a 7-5 victory for Revelations. So I think JJ & Co. taking a little bit of a chance here, playing on a map that they're very good at. We saw them win it 7-3 versus M80 just yesterday. So we know that they're great on this map, but they already lost it to Revelations in a best of 3 matchup. So I think a bit of a chance and a bit of confidence, maybe a bit of a risk coming out from JJ & Co. here.
Yeah, but it's all about risk, Whiskey. This is your chance for Pro League, and what better way to solidify your spot in there, not taking the easy win, going back and beating the best team in this tournament on the map you already lost them to. That's a statement, my friend, and I think that's exactly what JJ & Co. are trying to make right now. They're trying to make a statement saying, we belong here, we are the next Pro League spot, and we can even adapt and do it on the map that we lost on.
Yeah, that's right. And when you take a look at Revelations, we said they were 2-2 playing in that upper bracket game in Swiss. That means Revelations has not lost since the start of the playoffs. They went perfect in Swiss, perfect in the double elimination playoff bracket. The only team that can take them down now, the final nail in the coffin, or in this case, the first, is JJ & Co. They have been the under-bracket Grim Reapers, fighting their way all the way through. But, man, it has come down to this. Revelations hasn't lost yet. And that's a huge piece of confidence for Mr. B and Mike W. and the rest of that team fighting it out.
Yeah, and you know, it's these two old heads going at it right now who have been in this T2 scene for a long time. JJ versus Mr. B. Both wanting that chance to get into that Pro League spot. It's it. We're here. Send it, Whiskey.
It's time for Kafe. We said it. These two teams have done battle here before. They fought it out. Revelations came out on top, both on Kafe and in that best of 3. Can Mr. B and JJ & Co., are they going to flip the script? Is this going to be a JJ & Co. win to send them to the league? It is map 2 of the best of 3.
Okay, so as we get into it, let's take a look at the bands, my friend. First one off the board, and there's no surprises here. It's going to be the Blackbeard. But in a nod towards tradition, Ying going to be taken out this time.
That almost feels wild to go back to what used to be such an important part of the ban phase, but now it would have been the Dokubi, but Kafe plays out in a little different way. They want to make sure that they're not going to have to worry about the Ying. Mike W brought out the Ying during that bank play, so not surprising to see that come out.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the side of the defense, couple of standards, couple of staples, gone, done, and dusted. You're going to see Mira taken off the board and followed by the Azami. Both of those being incredibly important, specifically that Mira, right? Mira is good for not just holding on to your site, but in the day and age of verticality where Kafe sees a lot of that second floor, Mira is essential for holding on to that top floor, right? Holding on to Cocktail, making sure that you can't get yourself into tickets. So instead, they're going to take them off the board, and Azami's going to be quick to follow.
Okay, here it is, my friend. Interesting view from the observer. One sec.
And Cloudy, just to answer your question, M80X did unfortunately
before
fall
insertion.
to JJ and Co.
Attackers
So
have
they are
located a
out
bomb.
of the NAL
5
bid
seconds to go.
for Pro League until the next one comes around. So
are
Stompin
heading
will
out
be
to
looking
defuse a
forward to
bomb.
his games at the Rival Roller Series and whatever other tournaments they've got coming up. And of course, Siege Double Shot will continue to be your place for everything M80X and Stompin related. But at this moment, for his bid for Pro League, he is on a bit of a hold.
Real quick, we'll take a quick break while we work on the tech issue side of it, my friend.
Okay. Sounds good, folks. We're going to sit back, relax, and we'll be right back.
Standard clear. If they get rid of the roamers, they can establish some vert as well. And the first line of defense being the team captain for Revelations, Mr. B, as he's playing over by Shaco, watching this top skylight. He'll fall off of Humidor and even back away further after that flash is tossed out, not looking to lose his life this early.
He doesn't want to tussle with the potential hatch pressure from JJ and Co. Remember, this is just the extension. The site is on Reading Room, and Twist on that 0 has plenty of cams to set up and gather information on these top floor players. JJ and Co. still outside the building. Kafe, a very outdoors-centric map. You get a lot of map control just on these rappels. Just looking through those hatches. Asian already starting to fall back. Twist attempting to work his way in, or work some more information with those cameras as he continues to just watch bottom white, and Asian falls victim to the flank-watching 0, who has just been sitting there the entire round, even kind of revealing his position with that cam.
Well, in the meantime, that does stop anyone from retaking White Stairs, but Pallets is also a threat they got to worry about. Kiru does some damage on a JJ, but does not confirm a kill, and pops the Goyo, wasting more time. Although they have the entry, JJ and Co. spent so much time just getting into piano that they have had no vert established yet, but at least they've got 2 picks to spare instead.
I think JJ just bearing 9'd him from, like, Cigar.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane shot as Snake now goes for a backstab up white, killing Mike W. A 5-2 lead for JJ and Co. looking to start this map as hot as the previous one just ended. Let's make it a flawless. Why not? 2 kills for Snake coming up white and a 1-0 lead for JJ and Co. 6 rounds to go, John.
A clinical opening round for JJ and Co.'s attack. A stark contrast to what we saw back on Bank, right? Everything went according to plan. I think the only thing that JJ and Co. could have done was maybe gotten vert, but they didn't need it. I mean, they had the flank watch, so Asian could not assist Kiru. Now they know that the Goyo is isolated since Mr. B had fallen off back into the bomb site. And JJ just diffs him with the pairing 9, like after peeking him from the freezer rotate. If not, then maybe the pixel doorway. Either way, they clear out the roam almost perfectly and then just send Snake up White Stairs to help alleviate the other pressure that could occur when they transition from that top floor, then hitting the bomb site without any vert. It was a fluid round that JJ and Co. just had. And given the fact it's another roam, for Revelation's sake, hopefully they can play for trades better or just have a better fall-off plan, because none of their roamers except Mr. B were able to get away with their life, and their bomb site players too just got pinched.
Beautiful stuff from JJ and Co. Already a much more confident start here on Kafe than we had on Bank. Kitchen going to be the next site for Mr. B, another very verticality-centric site, which is why we now see Twist on the Ram, who you mentioned last round. They maybe could have gotten some vert on reading, although it didn't matter. On this site, it most likely will. Kitchen, much more expansive and much more effective when it comes to verticality. Flores drone already going in and clearing the bunker Goyo, which means this is probably going to end up being a white freezer execute at the end of the round.
A Vulcan pack being gone too leads a lot less utility to stall the execute. The smoke as well, watching for the Rotero drone, immediately snipes it too. Those castle barricades remaining intact could be a small thorn unless they're able to send someone in to destroy it. I mean, they've got breaching charges, but maybe they'll save them for vert. They've got ash charges and still more Rotero drones at the ready. But first, they got to find the Cade Claw. Hopefully that Exkyros charge can open up a big enough hole to spot it or at least destroy it. But As of right now, that doesn't seem to be the case, so maybe they'll have to capitalize with a grenade to eventually get that hatch opened up for their default take.
Twist using all 3 of his boogies already. Still like 2/3 of the round to go. I wonder what the end game here is for JJ now that they're out of Rams. They haven't gotten any kills from Vert. It looks like they're just going to stack up on White and try to take the fight against Mr. B, who just one pumps JJ as the Hibana is stuck in the smoke. Twist getting frozen. Mr. B with 2. Kiru another response as well. And JJ and Co just cannot make this clear happen. Mr. B gassing out yet another 3 in VIP as Revelations answer with a flawless of their own.
I don't think I've ever seen a back-to-back flawless from opposing teams, Harrison. That's got to be a first. I think I've ever seen in a match casted. But it just seems like JJ and Co didn't have anything to really push back Mr. B when he's got those toxic babes. He's got that shotgun, and he's got backup from Whiskey Bar. I don't think there was anyone trying to alleviate that pressure from like the reception door or the VIP window. Maybe somebody walking down Brown, which Whiskey Bar is in a perfect spot to counter Brown stairs. So in reality, Mr. B just has to stand in a hallway and wait for the attackers to push him one by one. I mean, even if they had something like a Ying, for example, that could have been a great pick, but obviously JJ and Co banning it and not really running a lot of Ying. They just had flashes to work with and those death mark trackers with grenades, which all of those failing against the Mossberg, a tried and true weapon that most anchors and IGLs are quite comfortable with at this level. So scoreline is tied back up, and now in the 3rd round, we finally see that Valkyrie being picked as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Shotgun is like Old Faithful at this point.
Yep.
I never go wrong with it. The only stipulation is you have to believe in it. If you doubt the shotgun, you will not find joy.
You know, the Mr. B and or the B in Mr. B stands for believe. You must believe in the shotgun.
Mr. Believe.
Yep. Instead of Mr. British. That's an old one.
Yeah, that's true. It does actually stand for Mr. Brown. It's actually not even Mr. It used to be, I think he told the story, it was LMRB. It was like Lachlan Michael Robert Brown, I think. People would just drop the L and call him Mr. B, so he just embraced it. Fun little origin story. Like you mentioned, the Valkyrie is in play for Recited, so as JJ and Co look to take into the top floor, they're going to have to be very careful of those potential nitro cells. Make that wary of the potential nitro cell. Mr. B has already used his. He tried to get a cheeky kill on the hatch, but unsuccessful. Speaking of more unsuccessful explosives, there we go. Rival finally gets it. But now Mike W immediately walking over to make sure he can't make his way in.
Breaking the cam, popping a toxic babe as well for good measure. Rival could maybe threaten the snow door walkthrough later on, but in the meantime, we'll avert our eyes back to the top floor clear where Asian almost dies from another twist cutoff, funnily enough. Instead, it'll be resighted with that second nitro cell with the synchronization of that black eye camera. Gets a freebie onto JJ. Another opening death for your hard support player. You don't need the Habanas as much in this round, but it would have been nice to have another gun and maybe make some more cutoffs through this top floor to open up Freezer, which I don't think he really did. So they have just bathroom to work in from, where Kiru is currently watching from across the map and almost smokes Emilio, but narrowly misses. But it doesn't matter. The rest of his team is popping off nonetheless, and JJ and Co have no response.
Just as you say that, Emilio does kill Recited on the flank, but he can't make any headway against Kiru, who's continuing to jiggle peek upstairs. Snake on the bomb site, though, finds Mr. B. Kiru is back, getting a little bit tagged up. Snake is still trying to create some chaos. He finds the Goyo and evades the shots, but then sprints right back into the angle he was getting shot from. A curious decision from Snake, and Emilio getting pumped by Mike W. means it's now a 2-1 lead for Revelations.
Once again, great info by Revelations, this time using the Valkyrie Black Eye cameras. Gets a free entry onto JJ. The Habana's gone, and now they can't really push against the cocktail extension as effectively because no one else was really playing on window repels. It was just one person. It was either Twist or somebody else playing by cocktail.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. Little bit of a bug on prod side of things, but we got it all situated. And so what you've missed so far is Revelations has went up 2-1 JJ and Co. kind of hitting that similar line that they did
Defenders,
on
protect your
Bank,
bombs
where
from
they
being
win,
defused by attackers.
kind of going for that quota look.
It's kind of crazy, right? We talked about this a little bit in the chat at the end. JJ and Co. 5 rounds in a row to close out map 1, 7-5 victory on Bank. This is their map pick. They have played this map before against this team. Now we get to see how they're managing it. They're back on this second floor site again, this time picking up mining. We saw this as well, mining being that surprise to me, right? We're seeing the rise of the mid-floor sites, but still a little bit surprising to see
10
mining
seconds left
on the
before
list.
insertion.
From this setup, Mr. B, Mike W, they've had a
5
good
seconds
run here to start it out, but JJ and Co looking to even it back up. They picked up one on defense, or one on their attack already, getting close to that quota.
And so, like we were talking about in the pre-show, Whiskey, Castle going to be utilized to hold on to this third floor, right? Take away some of those window opportunities. I think you call it this all the time. It is the great window simulator, right? Lots of rappel action going, lots of crosses being cut off, and the potential for jump outs, the potential for all kinds of shenanigans to be had on this vertical hold here. Gridlock going to start getting active early as they're blocking off that red and going to try to allow themselves to gain some of that top floor presence.
Yeah, JJ Co started off on attack both of these maps. They like to start off in control, try and gain as much of an advantage they can have. They only picked up 2 on that previous map, but that was all they needed to send it into a map win. Now, looking to find this as well. The third floor here, they're gaining control, trying, but look at this. The shields pushing in directly. The sends coming out. Cade completely unaware.
Yeah, caught off guard. JJ's able to find Mike W off the board, and look at that. 5v4 plant starting to go down. Agents take a little bit of damage. Kier's the one to end up going down, though. So, post-plant scenario and a 5v3 with the shield on the board. This is a tough place to find yourself. Quick look over there. Rival finds one. Twist finds one. Mr. B able to take Twist off the board, but he's got to put himself on pace for the ace, and Rival's going to deny that opportunity.
Right now, with the way that this game is going, when Rival succeeds, JJ and Co succeeds. Whether or not that's going to be the defining factor on this map, it certainly is trending that way. When he struggled during the first half of Bank, JJ and Co could not get anything going. After that rehost, he came back in a big way, was a huge part of why they won that map. Starting off here, they need to do the same. Rival comes up big, JJ and Co picks up a round, but again,
Attackers need to
they're
locate
playing
and defuse
a,
bombs.
I wouldn't say again TDM meta style of Siege, but they are playing quick, right? That quick execute with the shield, the sends. I love that style of aggressive play. I don't know whether or not that's going to work long term, but right now, if they can just throw off Revelations, all they have to do is win this map. And this, I know we were asking this in the chat, if JJ and Co wins this map, they are making it into the NAL Pro League for stage 1. That is what is on the line here for these teams. You win any way necessary, and then you can fight it out in the Pro League after, but this is it. All of the pressure right now on Revelations. They haven't lost a map in the Swiss stage or in the playoffs. This is their opportunity.
Okay, so now take it down to the bakery, right? JJ and Co's already done their due diligence. They hit their quota. Look at this. Oh, man, was in his spot to get one, and he does. Mr. B, cheeky up on the board, almost loses his life. He's down to a very low 5 HP in a dream scenario, but he claims one. JJ's gone, done, and dusted, which means main advantage is going to be in the hands of Revelations. That's going in my rank book.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
No
Look
way.
at Asian. That's a Mike B move right there, and look at that, some damage done as well as he's reduced to just under half of his HP as well.
Yeah, he was in a cheeky spot holding on, but not expecting the nade to come in as the alternative to try and clear him. He was looking for that rat spot, but the Goyo canister, part of why he lost a ton of life there. So he manages to 5-1, take down the hard breach. That is huge. He's reduced to a tiny bit of HP, but man, the damage is done to the JJ and Co attack.
Okay, well, that's the place to find yourself, because if JJ and Co comes up on another one on attack, they're going to feel pretty good about their defensive rounds. Although, you heard it in the chat, right? Revelations is a great attacking team, especially on Bank. So we'll have to see what kind of adaptations they're going to make to it here. The first step is going to be coming up to that 4-2 arena, right? Got to solidify yourself on the standard split here, or it's going to be a little bit more difficult towards the end. Starting to take some of that vertical space. Snake has made it into that second floor, but everybody else outside getting drones, holding rotates, holding the cross, making sure that they can claim that body balance back. Now it's going to be a quick shotgun or a quick blast towards VIP, but he's not even going to swing it. He is so low on the HP. He's got to be in your face for him to take that swing.
Man, what a play there. It got close to holding on to VIP, making sure they push the defense out of that position. Critical, but the toss over top of the reinforcement. Mike W taking down Snake and then downing another. Man, what a play. Right now, Revelations is hitting everything they need, but Rival not dead yet. In fact, the last one left alive, he manages to pick up one. But again, we can't rely on him being the only guy to keep this in. You can rely on the individual heroics for a little while, but it's not going to be the game changer.
Yeah, man, it caught on the back foot. A little bit of a 1v4, 1v5 scenario. Tries to get outside, go pick up the homie. Instead, gets shot in the back. As Nuko in the chat said, all right.
Man, a back and forth battle between these two. And, went back and looked. Revelations did win Open Qualifier number 1. They were one of the first 4 teams qualified. An unfortunate resighted left the game on a bit of a pause as hopefully avoiding the rehost. But with Revelations winning in qualifier number 1, that means that they haven't lost a game in the entire Challenger Series at all. Right? M80, we watched that team battle out JJ and Co. and lose in qualifier number 1, come back and win qualifier number 2. So they had lost one game early on. Revelations hasn't done that. They have won every single game that they've played in Challenger. The qualifier, Swiss, and now this playoff bracket. JJ and Co., they have lost several games, but they've won when it mattered. They've come back and won the important ones, and now they've battled their way all the way through the losers, the lower bracket, to be potentially the first loss handed to Revelations.
Oh man, what a loss to go out on, right? Right as you're poised to send it into the league, and then you get taken down by the what has been deemed the forever T2 team. Proving it different today, Whiskey.
They're trying to change it. We said flip the script here. JJ and Co., they found their 2 attacking rounds. They got the quota in play. This is their map pick, so we know that they were expecting to come into Kafe and play attack to start off with. Revelation's going to pick defensive side, try and gain the best advantage that they can. So this is going in the playbook that JJ and Co. wanted. What was surprising was them winning Bank, that 7-5 victory. We were so close to OT in that first map. Revelations handed a bit of a shocker, losing their map pick in such a close way. JJ and Co., they are close. We're literally one map away from Pro League, one map away from the Challenger Series being done. And I love the fact that they brought back Challenger Series. They didn't bring back relegation. I know there was a lot of questions about that early on. There's no team from Pro League yet is being relegated. This is just adding that final Pro League spot was open. Ubisoft handing some of the Pro League spots in the Challenger Series for teams to fight their way in. So we saw that during the majors, we saw that during SI with open qualifiers, but this time it's getting to play the entire Pro League stage as a Challenger Series team. So whether or not they bring back relegations is a 2026 question. Right now, this is just the opportunity to earn your spot in Pro League, and I love that the Challenger Series has given that opportunity to everybody. It's come down to these two, though, my friend.
That's right. So last round of the half before we do the op swap. Switch sides, switch operators, and the C4 rings out. Not going to find anything. Spot. The sledge is going to get taken down, though. Rival gets absolutely domed by the Vector. And that's going to put the main advantage back into the hands of Revelations. Although, Whiskey, a 4-2 split, not going to not going to be hopeless here. Oh, man, Twist and JJ both able to find one. Excited, answering back with P10 Roni as a headshot onto Emilio rings out. That does take us 3-3. Asian finds Twist off the board, now into a 3-2. Blitz makes the push up on the Cocktail. Flash goes out, but he's going to get taken down by the pistol. JJ gets taken down by Mr. B, now into a 2v1. Snakes are meta. The last one to try to do it, but Mr. B is going to find it. He's going to say easy.
Mr. B coming up huge there in the final round again of their defensive half. They pull off the 4-2 split once again. Well, we're finding ourselves in a repeat of map 1. The same scoreline, the same sides as we did on Bank. That map ended in a 7-5 victory after JJ and Co. absolutely freaking locked in to win 5 in a row to close out that map. So Revelations looking to disrupt once again, change the script, change the path of this game into a win for them to force map 3, which is Clubhouse. Will they pull it off? Man, what a play. Rival going down early. JJ and Co. loses the round. Again, I don't want to say he's the win con here for this team because they're so close in the number of kills, but a little bit of a coincidence at that point. JJ got some success playing upstairs on that shield, holding down the cocktail area, but like you said, it shot in the back as that battle happened. Revelations looking like they're going to bring out a similar lineup too with it resighted, making sure they play that blitz. It's going to be some of these early picks going to be the difference makers.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's that cap can. That's devilish, right? We love seeing it brought out in the early parts of the round or of the half because it's gonna force you to look at every single door, every single window, every single push point as you're making your way in from the rest of the game on here on Kafe. So a good devilish little pick. Snake's gonna put himself onto the vigil, try to get active a little early, but Twist is gonna be the one for that spawn. He's going for that of aggression.
And I love that they're keeping up this level of confidence as well. They cannot back off. Revelations is a great team. Neither of these teams can afford to take the other for granted right now. They're holding on, pushing as best as they can, droning here into prep. They got to deal with some of this defensive utility, the combination of the mute jammers and JJ's bandit batteries there. Got to clear out some of this before they can open up those sight lines.
They start to do so as those summer charges go off. Recited able to find one. Recited
no way.
For 2 as he finds himself, man, Asian takes one off the board and it is just falling apart for this defensive team. Asian good for 3. Oh no, that's on the double. So Twist and Asian both able to find 2 on the round, which means still last alive to try to get this one down. And going down, it's going to be the battle over the whiskey bar. One of our favorites here. Takes a couple of shots. He's going to find one on the code check. A second one still there trying to find that answer. 40 seconds left to get it done. You've got to shoot, pivot, shoot to bring this one back into contention. And you got to have 7 seconds on the board to get it done. So, looking for that swing. They're there. Kiru and that L85 is going to find one. And that's a done and dusted round.
Honestly, he's lucky he ran the K1A. We talk about this all the time. You're going to play the Vigil, bring out the boss to you. Such an annoying weapon to have to deal with. But when you get into that kind of a situation where you need more bullets than 2, man, the K1A could save you. He got close. He took a couple shots. It was not enough. Right now, most of this JJ and Co team sitting at 4 kills apiece, but Revelation's just too strong on their open attacking round to the point of sending JJ and Co to a timeout. This is 3 in a row for the Revelations team, coming off of that little pause, coming off the break here early on. JJ and Co need to change this up. What are they saying in this timeout right now?
Yeah, I imagine it's probably that Fabian-esque style speech. You're losing your ones. Just hold your position. Don't swing unnecessarily. Don't take those risks. They find themselves yet again, Whiskey, in a 5-2 scenario.
All right, as we get down to it, 2F, they're going to go back, try and play the reading as well, or again, rather than going back down to that first floor. I think that's a good call, right? They struggled a little bit on the direct pressure from the Revelations team, just absolutely getting shut down. We didn't see them do a lot of the big extensions, a lot of the big roam game on Bank either, both of these very big maps. So whether or not they're going to try and play that third floor, they're going to play from downstairs below. From a C4 perspective, they brought out 2, both Snake and Twist bringing them out, and Twist had some incredibly successful C4s on that bank defense. We're going to look for him to try and make that happen this time. And it is Rival upstairs. A little bit of pressure upstairs on that 3rd floor. You can see, what is that, 4 guys upstairs setting it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing here, right? Is when you're doing the reading and fireplace, the cocktail hold is vital to making sure that they can't get in and just plant right off the bookshelf, or push up and hold on to white, hold on to the fireplace. So yeah, big investment up top. Who's gonna stay down below? It'll be JJ on the defender. They might get something a little quick here. Look at this, Sen's going in. They know that it's all up stop. The Asian's gonna find JJ off the board, and that's the lone man inside. Senses are out. Plant's starting to go down, and look at
no
that.
way!
They're falling apart, Whiskey. Now into a 5v2. They're looking to put themselves on a match-point scenario already. This could be to take Snakes off the board. Twist finally able to stop the flow of bleeding, but it's just not going to be enough, as Asian is just going to take him down. One of the tough parts of how putting everybody up on the top floor, there's only one to get through.
Damn, we saw the JJ rush out of the Revelation squad. They pulled it off, bringing the Sens, jumping in that fireplace window, and really feeling like they completely caught JJ and Co. off guard to send them into match point. We said all of the pressure was on Revelations. This best of 3 battle between these two teams is coming down to the final, the final map here. And Revelations answers with that pressure by completely locking in. 6-2. They've now picked up 4 rounds in a row after winning their final 2 defensive and now their first 2 attacking. JJ and Co. is certainly on the back foot. The timeout buff not in effect this time. Normally we see, well, 60-70% of the time the team that takes that timeout wins the next round. JJ and Co. unfortunately falling victim.
And so now we have to see JJ and Co. be perfect for 4 in a row, or we're headed on to map number 3. And no bias with me, right? No bias here. We just want as much siege as possible and to see the best team go. And to me, what does that look like? That looks like we have to see a map number 3.
Man, if you're a JJ & Co. fan, you do not want to see that at all. And Twist taking a little bit of a risk there, taking some shots out the window. Got to be careful going for those spawn peaks against this Revelation team, opening up all the windows upstairs. But man, this is a dangerous team. You got to say that for both of them, though. So dangerous, and it feels like a wasted C4. They go for the hatch play upstairs, but does not connect. We've seen some magical shots, but that again, high risk, high reward, and does not work.
Yeah, and trying to be a hero, and this time comes up 0. No C4s in the hands of any of the defenders anymore. Which, yeah, you said it can be a tough one, especially. That's what Valkyrie senses. That's what we're here for. Is she's going to stop that plant. She's going to stop that push in. She's going to stop that initial take. Sense gadget goes out now. This is the rework sense. Right? This is the rework, so you can now turn it on and off. So he gets a couple of those in place, then gets a drone in to find out where that top floor pressure is going to be had at. And really, it's sitting in cocktail current.
Yeah, both Rival and Snake holding down the cocktail side a little bit on the white, but that's it. They're going to be able to have this cigar control. They've got complete control of this side of the map. They open up a couple of those vertical sight lines, and this is going to put some pressure, maybe too much pressure on JJ and Co. They completely back off. Twist, the only one holding down to a little bit of the angle. He takes a shot, but misses! No way!
Shot! Twist, what are you doing? Recited takes him down, and it was easy peasy, both lemon and squeezy. I get it. You're going for the high risk, but you whiff city. And now the smokes that were in pocket are gone, which means the plant is going to be free outside of those Goyle containers because they're Goyle canisters, because there's also no C4 on the board. That was a huge miss by JJ and Co. and almost solidifies a 3rd map.
unbelievable on match point. I mean, take the risk, but a high risk, high reward, and then to miss all your shots with all of that utility in pocket. Oh, so unfortunate there. Snake had already used up his C4. Seems like he's the guy to take it, but the round isn't over. Rival's not done yet. He's going to take down Recited. That's the global gadget of Fink, and all that extra health missing here from this team. There's still 20 seconds left, so Revelation's a bit on the back foot.
Right, flash goes out. Mike Day be able to take Rival off the board as they start to make that push in, but it's into a 3-3, and now they get the down onto Asian, which puts them into 2-3. Man advantage into the hands of defense. Takes a couple of shots, now all onto Kiru as Emilio's on the triple kill. Vertical to be had, 5 seconds left. Okay, I guess we're gonna see JJ and Co take one even after that smoke win.
Operators, you are out of time.
They had Case upstairs holding on to it, and man, winning big when they needed to. And started the comeback. It's a long road, though. We're on round 10 in a 6-3 scoreline. JJ & Co. has to be perfect here for 3 more in a row. They found 1. They needed to be perfect for 4. Picked up a huge one. Rival, I know we said it, and whether or not he's the win con completely here for this team, he has certainly been that guy. Sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard, but so impactful right now, picking up kills in the right places. Asian and Kiru, though, have just been dominant, and look at the number of assists on the Revelations side. Whether or not they're hitting their ones, winning those battles, they're taking a chunk out of this JJ & Co. team.
Yeah, a Rival sitting on the bottom, but only because he doesn't have any assists. That KD on the side of JJ and Co. is very similar, 5, 4, 4, and 5. So yeah, I think that being the big difference. Everybody involved on Revelations, only a few on JJ and Co. here for this Kafe map. So Revelations take the time out. They want to stop and think about it before they get into their potential last attacking round. It's going to be Fireplace, which means, man, it could be quick. It could be the top down. There is so
Attackers
much
need to locate
variables
and
to
defuse as many
this.
bombs as they can.
Could be the end of the road. You said it. 6-3. We are on match point. If you're just joining us, welcome everyone to the North American League Challenger Series. It is the grand final between these two teams. The winner literally makes it to Pro League. They earn that 10th spot in the league for Stage 1. Only one team can do it, though. Revelations and JJ & Co. battling it out. It's a 50K prize pool. 12 goes to the winner. 8 to second place, so there's still a ton of money on the line, but this game's not about money. This game is about the ego. It's a grudge match, a rematch between these two. Revelations won the previous best of 3 in the Swiss stage, 2-1 versus JJ & Co. So there is this game has got a ton of storylines in place.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not about the money. It's about the pride. It's about Pro League, but also it's about the money, right? And there is a lot of it on the line right this second, especially for a T2 team going into that Pro League spot. A great way to start. Okay, so on the side of the defense, leaning into that area denial, JJ and Rival both going for that make sure you can't get in quick sort of style, and as long as JJ doesn't pull a twist and waste it all, could be good for the late round.
It's right there. I mean, you can see right there, Revelations taking a little bit more care, opening up those hatches, staying far back, using the DMR, making sure that they don't lose one to a C4 there. But this JJ and Co squad doesn't have very many. Both Snake and Twist, the only two bringing them out again. Not a lot of C4s in play, so we're gonna focus on the upstairs. But man, Snake hitting his shots, and Rival, 2 huge picks by this team.
Yeah, big picks, and now the man advantage heavily into the hands of JJ and Co. As they're going to stop that potential rush from the skylight area, but damage has been done, right? We can potentially see JJ and Co. snatch up another round, although there's still 1:30 left in this game, so the potential for the top frag, Mr. Breedy, and Asian to bring this one back into contention, and of course the incredible magician-style play that Mike W. has to bring this one back. Asian goes down, however, so puts us into a 5-2. Rendering this one almost all but unwinnable.
Man, what a win that they're picking up right now. It took huge picks coming out from Rival, coming out from Snake. They're doing the work when they needed to. We said they needed to be perfect for 4. They pulled off 1, and they're on their way to winning that second, getting this thing just a little bit closer to tie it up. It requires overtime for JJ and Co to stay in it, so they have got to lock in right now. But Mr. B, Mike W, still left alive here for this attacking team, and they are dangerous.
That's true, but you got to be dangerous for all 5 of them. So, and they're spread out. They're not going to let this happen, and they're on cam. They know exactly where Sense is at. Now they make the drop down. Makes a couple of shots towards that mining. Twist is able to find Mr. B off the board. Mike W finds the first.
No
finds
way!
The second, good for 2. Now puts him into a 1v3. 30 seconds left. Diffuser's cold, though, and they're going to be potentially watching. No, everybody looking towards that white stair area, holding on to the hallway, and, of course, sitting in that reading in case they try to get onto the other site. So, with the Fenrir gadget still in place, the bulletproof cam still up and running, and 3 and 1 and a 5 HP in a dream. JJ and Co.
10 seconds remaining.
This last round.
Rival just toying with his food there a little bit, just holds on, waits. Mike W is just emptying mag after mag into the hallway. He didn't even bother going for a diffuser, and Rival just waited him out before almost one-tapping him around the corner. 6-4, they needed to be perfect for 4. They have pulled off 2, and they have come within 2 rounds of sending this thing to overtime. JJ and Co., I mean, the pressure is on Revelations. If JJ and Co. wins this, the game, the map, the series is over. They have got to hold on. All they've got to do is win one more round to send it to map 3. If you're a Revelations fan, it's time for them to lock in.
Well, this will be the best chance they got to do it, I think, Whiskey. It's up onto the 3rd floor of the Great Windows Simulator. And, yeah, they're bringing along the castle. They're going to stop some of those windows from being effective. But, I don't know. Feels like maybe a misstep taking it up to the 3rd floor.
I mean, you said it, it's ballsy. It's a bit of a distraction here, but the problem is we saw Revelations win back on round 7 on the 1st floor in a big way. Now, part of that was a little bit of a crazy play, but if you've already seen Revelations win, now you've won both of the mid-floor sites they had to pick. Do you go 3rd, which is a little bit unknown, we haven't seen how Revelations manages it, or do you play the 1st floor where they already won? It's a bit of a gamble. You said it, high risk, high reward. Snake goes for the shot, misses it, and then rotates back up.
Yeah, that P10 Roni not quite connecting there. Unfortunately, he goes for a bit of that spawn peak, so puts us still in a 5-5, and they're going to start to open some of those things up. Castle barricades dealt with, at least for that, for this side of it. Means they're going to be able to put some pressure on Piano.
And 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Tons of time being eaten up here by this defense. You can see them working the top floor. They're going to start droning now, but the double shield from Mike being recited almost... They're expecting a little bit more of a direct take. Going to focus on this flank control on those red stairs. We saw this the red stair kill come out up through the hatch previously. They're watching out for this time, and now watching the C4 bounces off the shield.
What a play, and now stuck in the corner. He's going to find what? Hello?
No way!
Mr. B goes down, a couple of trades ring out, now puts us into a 3-3 as double duty happens. Recited still on that blitz, though, so still can be that menace, and they still have a C4 on board. But the thing is Mozzie's playing from up top, so no vertical pressure to be had from underneath. Huge play. You've taken one of those spearheads down.
You take a look, though, he's still got Mike W and Kira both outside the building. It's a minute 18 left. Recited is in. They've got a little bit of the control on the cigar side, but that's the best that they're going to do. They have to walk through one of these 2 doors. Currently, all those angles being held by JJ, so they're making the push in, but, man, this is still a dangerous position. They have got to gain a little bit more map control. Maybe take one of these power positions down, either Snake at the top white, or they need to get some cocktail control with Rival and Emilio.
Okay, so a little bit of a hold pattern. Smokes go out, flashes go out, and now put themselves onto the bar for a bit of a turtle plant here, looking to try to get active. Still has the C4, he's got to send it deep.
No way!
He drops down, he doesn't get the kill though. Hero takes down Rival, and now into a post-plant scenario, so low health. That's going to find another one as Emilio takes down Mike W as well. 2v1 in a post-plant. It's a tough place to find yourself, especially with a shield on board. So they're going to play this combo move, and unless we see something amazing, we might just be looking at that map number 3. Oh, does find one. Okay, that is amazing. Emilio takes out Resided. 10 seconds left in which to get the kill and start this plant. They're going to make the swing up. It's a crouch swing. He finds it.
He got it!
No way! With just enough time. 0.5 seconds on the clock to get that diffuser started. And JJ and Co are going to bring this one step closer to tying it up.
No way. That is absolutely unreal play there from Emilio. So well played on the defensive retake in the post-plant scenario. Revelations falling apart after gaining what seemed like an unlikely plant going down, and then perfect crosses hold as Snake tried to make the push over as Valk. He loses that battle and absolutely puts Revelations in the power position, but JJ and Co and Emilio just come back and crush that team. I wouldn't say crush their spirits yet, but that is 3 in a row for JJ. They had to be perfect for 4. They are 1 round away from forcing overtime. Revelations, man, they have got to close this thing out. Going on to map 3, going to be a dangerous spot for this team.
So what do you do if you're JJ and Co? What is the win con? Well, the first step, I think, is going to be to take down Resided, right? Take down that shield play. He's been pretty incredible with it. Great at taking up that space. And then make sure that you're not caught off guard by the quick plant. We are in mining, so there's several opportunities to do so, right? Make that rush up red. You can take that window that's in mining, or you can even take that fireplace. You can even do the rush versus white if they leave part of that wall open as well. So what are they going to do? They're going to bring out the Amaru, the Blitz, and the new op. And if you're new to Siege or you're new to this season, Whiskey, tell us about Raura.
Yeah, we've seen her used to some significant success previously, and Kafe was one of those maps that they used as the simulator for where she was going to be great, where she was going to be used, blocking off all those angles, and Cocktail going for a plant. So this is a second floor site, not going to be able to use it in the same way, but look at this. Don't tell me Revelations are going to pull off another JJ quick plant. With Kira on the Amaru, it certainly looks like it.
That's right, and they made themselves in. Flames are going off. Blitz has made his way inside, and that's going to be the first kill. Rival and Snake both able to find one off the board, but answered back. Side is able to take down JJ. A 4-3 plant going down.
What a collapse!
Down. No way, now into a 4v1. Whiskey, 2 minutes left on the board, but this one feels like overtime.
Mike W., there is no way he's going to come back. We said the rush that went awry. They tried the JJ & Co. rush plan, and it completely fell apart. To be fair, it didn't work for JJ either, so Mike W's got his work cut out for him, taking some shots on the window. He still's got a minute 42, but you said it. This is a tough hill to climb.
Yeah, but if anybody could do it, Mike W is him, right? He is the one potentially to be the chosen one in this. So if anybody can bring it back, it is definitely him. A 1v3 with 1:28 left on the board. This is plenty of time to work. He can isolate. He can possibly miss. There it goes. Finds himself a second one as Twist goes down to a 1v2. Still plenty of time. He's going to take a look here. Drone, right? Because he's got 1:07 left on the board, he's going to spot one out, which means he has a good idea where that other one is sitting at. That's holding the cross in the window. He goes down, takes one.
No way!
My Lord, Legion Goo, he has to take it out or he dies, and JJ & Co. is going to tie this up.
Mike Wobbletop just coming out and putting on a bit of a show. Man, he made that significantly closer than it needed to be, but what a collapse from Revelations. JJ & Co. had to be perfect for 4, and they freaking pull it off, going from 6-2 all the way back to 6-6. Man, this is a comeback team. It's a comeback story. It's a comeback team. We saw this again. If you're just joining us, this was a rematch of that Swiss stage high round. Revelations won it 2-1 as they continued their unbeaten streak in Challenger Series. They've lost a few maps, but never lost the battle when it came down to a best of 3. JJ & Co. looking to hand it to them. We are now in overtime. Again, if this the winner of this game, potentially this map, goes to Pro League, JJ & Co. can pull off a win here on Kafe, their map pick.
Man, I can't believe we're here. Whiskey, I can't believe that we're here. Overtime. JJ & Co. on the defense. They're going to lean into some of that area denial.
5
Both
seconds.
Rival
to
and
insertion.
JJ going to bring out the
Camera
smoke.
up and running.
Goyo, Emilio onto the Fenrir, making sure nothing
Attackers
quick
are
can
heading out
happen.
to defuse a bomb.
And of course, the C4 in the hands of Snake and Twist. I think doubling the C4s is the right call. 5 sets of intel with 2 deployable cameras, and the Valkyrie cam's going to be out. They're trying to create some opportunities.
Yeah, they're taking a couple looks, taking a little bit of a risk looking out those windows, just putting a little bit of pressure on the Revelations team to try and slow them down. We talked about whether or not that third floor site choice was a risk. JJ & Co. freaking pulls it off, though, winning upstairs on that third floor. They're going to avoid the first floor site again, the only site that we saw Revelations win on this, or I guess they did win on reading as well, but from a midpoint perspective, JJ & Co. has been unbeatable after that time point, so they can't afford to throw anything away, though. Revelations may be a bit on the back foot, but they have still unbeaten in Challenger Series.
C4 is out. It's prepped. It's at the top of the white stairs, wanting to send one, but gets droned out, so he's going to make the rotate back into the cocktail area.
Hive activated.
One C4 either done and dusted, or is in a pre-plant scenario. Ooh, pre-fire almost finds himself in some damage and some trouble. Still 5-5 with a minute 40.
I can't believe we're living in a world where mining is the better site than first floor, but that's the world we're living in here on Kafe. Revelations, they have gained some top floor control. They are pushing in. They've got bar control, now pushing for cocktail. Asian goes down, though. That's Rival. He's been the win con here for JJ & Co. It's a tied up 4-4 at this point now. Is the kill confirmed through the C4, but it's Rival going down. JJ & Co. now have got to break the curse and win without Rival here in overtime.
Yeah, Twist still on the board, though, as he sits at 9 and 11 on his KD. So 4-4, he still has that win con capabilities and a devastating one-tapper in hand as well to do it. So 56 as it starts to count down. This first round of overtime going to be incredibly impactful. Looking towards the white stairs, looking for a cross, looking for a rotate. Solidified on a barricade here. Now does reveal his location. No more air jabs in place. Watch his flank as they're all been set out, and now the Goyo charge goes off, and there's going to be some damage done, but they make their way inside. They don't think he knows either, so the plant's going down. Mike W takes Twist off the board, a quick shot, and they are...
What a play!
Not before the plant goes down. So the defense, in a 3v2 scenario, they've got to deal with this vertical pressure from Kiru, and they've still got Mike W sitting outside. So 3v2, gonna bring one out. Gonna have to hold. Valkyrie goes down in hella bullets. Mike W to find one,
No
Kiru
way.
to find another, which means it's all gonna be onto the shoulders of JJ to try to bring this one back into contention. Takes a shot long, but the close is gonna be the damage. Mike W takes him, and round 1 of overtime goes in the hands of Revelation.
No way. I thought Snake got that kill on the planter, but the fact that he was a less than half a second late meant you got into a post-plant scenario. He waited just a fraction of a second too long to make the swing. Unbelievable play there from Revelations. They come out, they get the plant down, and then perfect post-plant hold to solidify their win there on overtime. We are on match point. This time, finally, Revelations one round away again for the 5th time here today on this map. 1 round away from map 3. 1 round away from Clubhouse. Can they hold on and win here, or are we going to see double overtime? Now, on a JJ & Co. attack, they only managed to win 2 attacks previously. Man, on mining was the place that they found some success. This first floor site was not that one. It was a good defensive stronghold for Revelation, so this is their best opportunity, and right now, JJ & Co., it is time to lock in.
10 seconds to go.
Exactly, and bringing out this defensive lineup. It's a bit of an extension. Kira places himself on the castle. We're going to see Mr. B onto the smoke. No Warden here, which is sometimes what you see. Holding on to that VIP where currently Smoke is sitting. So still going to play that power position, but this time without a deployable shield to help kind of back you up. Going to rely on those smokes to make sure that they can't make that quick push in.
working on opening up some of these sight lines, tossing the nade. That's where we saw Mr. B playing previously, but this time holding over on the VIP side. So they've got it. They've got a big bakery hold. They've got the VIP hold. Revelation's not taking many chances. Nobody upstairs. No presence on any of the other floors of the map. So they're going to be looking and watching for the vertical twist. He has got to stay alive. A rival got to stay alive as they open up these vertical sight lines.
Okay, so first minute is done and dusted as they start to make their way inside the third floor. Taking a look at second as well. Everybody down on the first floor. No roamers up top. No extension up onto the second floor, which means this space is going to be for free. Which means they're going to have quite a bit of time here to work with as the attackers to try and pick some of these folks off. Buck going to get started with Ram on opening up that verticality, trying to put some of that fish in a barrel situation. Catch people on the rotate back to sight.
And minute 20, I mean, half this round is left. Burning smokes now in VIP, and it almost feels a little bit early. A minute 19. Right now, JJ and Co, they've got a good pace here, burning off his defensive utility. Twist still left alive upstairs. A rival still alive upstairs, but they've got to make this push down. Mr. B, they've got to clear out VIP to be able to gain any of this space. And again, Revelations on the defense looking like they're baiting JJ and Co in, leaving that white wall completely soft. If they can gain control on VIP here, that is going to be such an important point for this team as that last 50 seconds roll on.
That's right, an important 50 seconds here, the difference between Map 3 and Pro League. So they start to send in some of those Bs. Mr. B is going to find the first kill onto JJ, so the main advantage is into the hands of Revelations, but it gets equalized as Rival's able to find Mr. B off the board, and that's that pivotal push position there taken off. These are signifying somebody is sitting at that whiskey area, but they can't quite make the push. Snake takes Kiru off the board as they pick up that diffuser. It gets equalized. Asian to find Emilio off to some vector play. Bit of that global gadget coming out in the hands of Finka as they're able to get a little bit more health. Couple of shots
Huge
down
pick!
low, and now Rockville's able to take him off the board. Mike B to answer back. Snake
There's
meta,
no time.
8 seconds left. There is no time. They send in the flash. They're going to have to plant right off the door, and a shot rings out. Resided takes Rival off the board. No time left. We're going to see him at 3.
8-6 victory. Wow, perfectly played. You said it. What a run for Revelations, man. They come up huge at the last possible moment. They kept it running. We didn't get to see double overtime, but man, what a play that they had. JJ and Co picking up, 4 in a row, sending it to OT. They put in all the work, but damn, couldn't close it out. You said it. Going to map 3. Revelations, they showed up, and overtime now, and so close to overtime on map 1, we are evenly matched going in, and you said it, they were 1 round away. Was it going to be map 3, or was it going to be Pro League? Revelations not done yet.
That's right. You said it. Both of them firing on all cylinders. Both of them not willing to back down. And what map should we choose to go to see who is the best? It's the great equalizer coming up next. Clubhouse. Oh, man. Whiskey, this is going to be a good one. Sit back, relax, because when we come back, we're going to bring you the stunning conclusion and declare your next North American Pro League team. Ayo.
Let's go.
Map 1, 7-5.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It has been a long road to get here, but we are finally at the point. We are one map away to discover who is going to find themselves at the end of the path to pro and walking through that gateway to greatness. One map to get it done, Whiskey, and it's Clubhouse.
The final map is here. Welcome, everyone, and to the final game, the end of Challengers Series. We have been here through it all of the open qualifiers, all of the closed qualifiers, Swiss stage, the double elimination playoff. We have made it to the grand final, and it has come down to a third map. Revelations versus JJ & Co. Man, pure cinema as we got to see these two teams battle that out. They have traded on each other's map picks back and forth. We've seen slight, positions of dominance, a few, but for the most part, these teams have been battling it out to the end.
Man, to the very end. To the very end. And now, as these two equal teams have been equalized, we head to the equalizer. Clubhouse, right? Default strats, default map, but can have some variety to it. This is going to rely on gun skill. This is going to rely on spotting the gap. This is going to rely on taking advantages of those mistakes and potentially seeing something that we've never seen before. Maybe it's a bar stage win? Could you imagine?
No, I can't imagine. It's never happening, my friend. It's such a... it's a weak defensive site. There's no way a team is throwing their hopes on it. No one, except for maybe SSG, would play that style. We've got Revelations and JJ & Co. here battling it out for that Pro League spot. SSG could pull it off because they were already in Pro League.
Okay, so let's get into the maps. The bands, excuse me. Mav going to be the first to go here. It's been a kind of we've seen Mav a ton of times on Clubhouse. It's great for that silent entry on those hatches. It's great for disrupting that second floor play when trying to get in and stop the bandit tricking or the Cade tricking that's going on. Not going to be any Cade tricking here, though. Cade gets banned.
Yeah, I think that's a huge pick here for this Revelations team, choosing to ban the Cade. They're going to make it a little bit easier to walk in. If you don't have the Mav available, remove the Cade. And now, on the JJ & Co. side, get rid of Tubrow. That's an interesting choice because he had played, Twist had been playing the Tubrow so well, so he's going to have to find an alternative operator here on defense. Who is he going to lock in on? Now, Clubhouse is a map that we saw JJ & Co. play and win on double overtime versus Forsaken just 3 hours ago. So, they have already locked in. They played this map. They're ready.
One second, Whiskey. I'm so sorry.
No worries, my friend. As we get into a prep phase, it is time. If you're just joining us, map 3. It is down to the final, and look at this. Twist hiding the Soulless. That's an interesting choice. Normally, you know, with her gadget being changed, people have definitely said she got murdered by the recent nerfs, but choosing to hide during the prep phase is an interesting choice. Whether or not that changes the way that Revelation's going to play this out, not knowing that the Soulless is on board. From a JJ & Co side, they're going to bring out the plant denial and then Rival playing the Goyo. This, to me, is the difference maker. Rival was the win con during that Kafe map. Every time that he went down, I think JJ & Co went down as well. And it was close. We said it. 8-6 victory on Kafe. And if you missed early on Bank, that was a 7-5 victory for JJ & Co. That thing almost going to OT.
Okay, so you're going to see some blitz play getting active early. We're down into the basement. I think the fun operator, right? That potential game changer here. Twist bringing out, did you say it, the Soulless?
Yeah, and Soulless, I know you had to step away, was hidden during that prep phase, hiding behind right up next to the church wall, making sure that the attackers didn't identify she was playing. So certainly a part of the spoiler here. We're going to see whether or not it changed up anything in the way that Revelations was running the attack.
Hatch Queen going to get active, starting to get that verticality opened up. Since everybody is turtle strat, everybody's bunkered down, there's no need but to send in a couple of drones up to the second floor and the first to make sure and find out that you're free to take some of that space. And so Ram going to start to get active here. So they're trying to create that fish in a barrel scenario where they're trying to pick off some people rotating back in sight, trying to hold those crosses. This is going to be a good one. We're a minute and 41 left.
Minute 41, we get down to the halfway through, and look at this, goes. He's going to get the bandit trick off on that church wall. Man, perfectly timed there from Emilio running that. Mike W just sitting stumped, losing those charges, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult, nigh impossible to push down that main stair section, so they're going to have to go on the rotate, and here it is. Twist with this flank. They did not know that the Soulless was in play, but looking the wrong direction. No way!
No way. Hello, rewarded for a double. Mike W's gonna take one off the board as well as Twist goes down. I'm not sure what we just watched right there. Somehow JJ and Co comes out on top in that exchange.
Yeah, just Twist saying he did not see the rotate, walked completely past it. The fact that I think that was Kiru that was on the was just standing there on the drone, but just completely the two of them, two ships passing in the night, missed each other. But look at this blitz downstairs, making the fight, but it is all down to Mr. B. He's holding onto the back armor. He's gonna pick up one. That's Rival going down. Not going to be enough though as Emilio takes down Mr. B. Boy, off the back of that start, the bandit trick, and then that incredible Soulless exchange upstairs in stock, falling apart for Revelations.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Who is going to be the better team that takes advantage of those mistakes? Because this map is completely default, except for, I guess, that rotate. Not quite in the plans.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
What a crazy way to start off map 3. These two teams fighting for Pro League. For sure that is getting clipped. We're going to see that one on Twitter later on today, probably in the next few minutes at this point, with how crazy that was. Again, you said it, taking advantage of mistakes. We saw this a lot yesterday. Obviously, these teams fighting, not making many mistakes, but the team that takes advantage of them, the team that is likely to come out on top. JJ & Co. on defense, on Clubhouse, pick up their first. No surprise there. It was the basement for sure, the stronghold on the defensive sites. They're going to go ahead and play Jim Bedroom next to start continue with this defense. But got to say thank you very much for all the subs and follows and the viewers today. We appreciate you hanging with us for a co-stream here on the North America Challenger Series Finals.
Okay, up to Jim Bedroom. No surprises on the side of the defense. If the zombie's allowed to be in play, she's going to be. And so they're going to couple that with the castle, bring out a little bit of that intel denied in the hands of Mute, and then Emilio going to try to stay active with those bandits. Now, here was the question. I didn't see where they put him. Did they do it onto the cash wall, or is it... Yeah, there it is. they're putting it on the catch wall. So allowing them to take that space into CCTV and then potentially punishing with a flank, or just making sure that you could hold out inside of cash does get droned out. Means we're going to see our first bit of engagement here.
Look at this, making the push in. Mr. B in with the diffuser in hand. Gonna go for that, opening that wall, but they don't know the player's top red. A little bit of a miss. That's the Warden playing. He knows he's got tons, but the trigger discipline coming in place. But
Lord,
this!
no way! There's no way! Twist find one, Asian and Kira are able to answer back, but still got that pressure and presence on top of red. Twist is looking to get active on another, and they are just making a full push now. Castle down below, looking towards that main lobby area as they're just battling it out. It just falls apart. Whiskey, I have to ask the question here. What are we watching right now?
Well, in that particular round, we were watching the epic collapse of the JJ & Co. defense, just completely shut down. Right now, I don't know whether or not the pressure is getting to it. We can't be entering a stage of just having some fun. This isn't a show match, right? We're down to map 3 of the grand final. One of these teams goes to Pro League, and it certainly feels like that was a bit of a throw. What in the world did we watch there? Just
Attackers need to locate and defuse
just
as many bombs.
insanity.
I love it. I love it. It was so good. It was just so good. You can't script this any better. 1-1 where we sit as the first half of the first half is almost done and dusted. We're going to see Cash CCTV as the next setup, but of course the zombie's going to be on the board. Of course you're bringing out the Frost to stop that potential shield play from coming up to the catwalk to try to take them down. But here's an interesting pick here by the defense, is there is no projectile deny. So Emilio, who is going to be set up on that catwalk, is going to put themselves in a precarious position, especially because he's bringing the Capital along, and duh, of course he will.
Yeah, I mean, this is the important spot for it. They're going to need it, and it's going to be taking him down, a priority here for this defense. Plus the double shields in play. Love that they're bringing out the Legion and the Frost. They're going to try and make sure that warehouse side stays locked down. And Asian working those the can openers early. They need those sight lines in to try and gain some control here on that rafters side. So where the shield's pushing, right? Looking far back, checking to see who's playing upstairs on the rafter, giving some intel to Asian as they look for where to shoot those fireballs. But it's crazy from this defensive side. They have no projectile deny, nothing in place to try to change up the way that's going to come in.
Look at that bandit, though. He puts it onto the wall so they can't open it up and force that engagement on Hanami. That cuts off a very pivotal rotate, or a very pivotal crossfire that generally results in a kill on that catwalk player. So interesting bit of bandit play here out of JJ, as he's going to help solidify Azami holding on to that top. Now, Asian takes a little bit of damage. Monty's starting to make the push up, notices that Frost and has to get stymied there for just a second. JJ's able to take Asian off the board, which means
that's huge.
Azami's safe. Yeah, Azami's safe. This is crazy. What a play. A great defensive hold has netted them the main advantage with 1:35 left.
Not only that, but you've gotten rid of that Capital. You said it, not going to be able to make the push in. They're going to try and go for something from down below, but I mean, Kira's looking, trying to find a spot, but it feels a little bit disjointed at this point. They're making runs all over, looking for who's still on the first floor, but JJ & Co. holding the power positions upstairs on the second floor. No one downstairs to try to push for it. And Emilio and JJ locked in on this garage catwalk and looking for it. Takes down Kiru. He goes unshielded for a moment, but that frost mat is still in place. He literally cannot push up any further.
Behind me.
That's right, and so they're going to be the double shield action, trying to end it in a 5v2. Got to get active, got to find one. Emilio takes down Mr. B. A rival takes down Resided, and that's a flawless round for JJ & Co. as they find themselves 2-1. First bit of the round rotate.
Wow, what a change up from what we saw back on round 2. That gym bedroom was just absolute chaos, resulted in a loss for JJ & Co. But coming back, winning round 3 on that, for sure, the tertiary site, the Cash CC side, clinically played by JJ & Co. I love what they brought out from, you said it, Bandit tricking the wall to avoid putting any pressure on the garage side. Even though they got the main breach open, with no garage control, there was nothing they could do. The combination of the Frost and the Bandit, well played. I was a little worried about the lack of some of those from the projectile deny, but they made it work. And again, taking down Asian and that Capital, some of the keys to that round. Revelations now a little bit on the back foot, but it's a standard split expected here on Clubhouse. They found one. They only need to find one more in the next 2 rounds.
That's right. So what's the adaptation now on the defensive side of it? Trying to find themselves another win on the basement. Twist going to bring out the cap can. Maybe expecting some more of that shield play. Expecting some of that early onset aggression. Double up on the area denial, and then, of course, increase that static warfare of Azami. Couple that with Emilio's bandit tricking capabilities. This is a good defensive setup to start us out. And Capcan getting active with those traps potentially on the first floor. Looking towards that vertical, and that's going to be Kiru.
Oh, wow!
Twist is able to take him off the board. Man advantage early into the hands of JJ and Co.
And that's the Ram. There's no more of those boogies available. All of that soft breach destruction on the floor is going to be left to be done manually, and they really have nobody to try and work that part of it. Yeah, you've got Mr. B, but he's going to have to work the hatches. All of that utility focused on getting the hard breaches open, so that is a huge loss to this Revelations attack team. That was the main soft breach here, and on this basement site on Clubhouse, it is such an important part of the way that the site is played out. That's a huge boost here for JJ and Co.
Yeah, no kidding. So, first minute done and dusted. We've seen the action. The man advantage has been claimed, and when the dust settles, JJ and Co. bunkers back down completely. Right? They don't have to worry about the Ram. I'm not sure if they know if that there is no buck on board, and Ace also doesn't have those breach charges. Man, that is a tough position, which means you're gonna have to start doing it the old-fashioned way, a little bit of gunplay.
This time, though, Revelations taking the slow approach. When you don't have any of that vertical control available, they're going to have to try and push down the stairs. It's dangerous, but look at this. Recited has made his way in. They've got some generator control. We're being pushed back by the smokes, and look at that. Mr. B goes down to the fire.
Man, that's tough, and JJ's going to find Recited.
No way.
Well, Asian falls. Mike W. the next
and
follow
the cap
to a
can.
Cap can trap. It is starting to feel good for that basement defense. They win it twice. JJ and Co. now up. And this is like not a surprise, right? And not because JJ and Co. is so much better than Revelations, but because that's how it should go. 4-2 split standard here. If Revelations finds one more round win going into their defensive half, they're also going to feel pretty good about it.
No way we saw a Goyo kill, a smoke kill, and a cap can kill in the same round. Round 4 of map 3 going down in history. But I know, we talked about it. Light Rose and Jazz talked about how good JJ and Co. was managing the defensive utility and winning rounds off the back of it. Just another example of how well that thing played out. We saw it on the previous round on the Cash CC side. The Bandit and the Frost Mats coming in and clutching up and winning. Revelations is not managing the defensive utility, and they're getting shut down because of it. Yeah, it's a defensive split, but the way that it's playing out right now feels very heavily on the JJ side.
5 seconds to go.
Oh, so on the side of the attack, they're going to go for that two-pronged approach, which is kind of the necessary take for Gym Bedroom. You're bringing both Ace and Thermon along, and what that does is that's going to try to open up cache or CCTV. It's going to try to open up Hot Tub, put some pressure and open up construction as well. It allows you to use that Strat Roulette open sesame, and that's necessary here. Put somebody onto the highway windows, have somebody putting some pressure from that Hot Tub breach, and then you got all of your crosses secured and set. Catch the man advantage, get in, and go for play.
Last map we talked about Rival needing to step up after that sort of a rough performance to start off on Bank. He was an important part of it. Now on the Revelation side, Mr. B, Recited, Mike W, all sitting at 1 kill apiece. Kiru and Asian, the only ones able to really make any significant dent in the JJ and Co kill column. So they have got to step this thing up in a big way, and right now. Yeah, we're getting down to it, but Revelations, a 5-1 half, on the third map of the grand final would be a devastating position to be in. That is a huge mental confidence boost here for the JJ & Co side. Looking for the C4, tossing in on this entrance. That's where all of the chaos happened. The top here making the push in, but man, look at this. Deimos knows exactly he's playing top red, but they're not able to push him out of position. He's holding on, hiding, and he wins that battle.
Wow, definitely gets taken down by the pistol right afterwards, but it's a good trade. You get that. Oh, Reside finds himself another one as the trade rings out. Now puts us into a 3-3 as Kiro also goes down. Did they get those castle barricades off the window, or are they going to have to do this the old-fashioned way? That's the question.
I don't think they did. I think this is going to be a hard position here. The two top frags, we said, Akira and Asian, both down, leaving it in the ones column. Now, Recited did pick up a double, put himself at 3-4-0, but you can see it. Look, both of the castle barricades still up. He's going to use a thermite on it. No, just tricking this team maybe into potentially pulling one of them down for them without wasting any of this util. But you can see Azami holding on, playing behind that reinforced wall, not needing to peek, though.
Yep, hold your position. There's only 39 seconds left. The flashes come out, but there's still a blitz on the board, so you know he's going to get active. Blitz goes down. Mike W quickly to follow, puts us into a 2v1 scenario, and they're on cam now. Mr. B getting spotted out by this portable camera, so he's going to start to go for the defuse here. He takes it off. A couple of free fires. They're going to answer back. That gets the down. Now into a 1v1, but answered immediately. Emilio takes Mr. B, and that's going to be another one for the defense.
Out of the ashes of chaos from that previous gym bedroom round that we saw back on round 2, JJ & Co comes back, and again, huge victory there, taking down Kiru and leaving those castle barricades up. Really limited the options there for the Revelations attack. We said 5-1 was going to be an extremely dangerous position here for Revelations. Now they've got to fight it out. They're one round away. They've got to find one on attack to get that standard split. You're going to see this cash CC defense again. And what was so pivotal here for JJ & Co previously when we saw it on round 3, which was a flawless victory, that combination of the Frost and the Bandit there blocking Revelations from making any push up. What's the change that they're going to run? For sure, you still got to bring the Capital. You still need to bring some hard breach, but they're looking like shifting off the shields and maybe going with a little bit more direct. Going to play the Bucks, shooting from below, trying to take advantage, maybe play this vertical and shut down JJ & Co from down below.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, interesting Frost setup here. Deployable going down in Swamp. So looking to maybe stop that that lobby push that we saw going on last time. They're going to need a little bit more potentially in the tank. Now, last time they ran that double shield, right? That's what you were saying. They ran the double shield and it just wasn't quite as successful. So this time opting for one and bringing out that the gridlock might be the right call. Stop some of that rotate. I think you're right, Whiskey. On the side of the defense, they're going to run it back, right? They're just going to do it again. They're just like, hey, it worked last time. We had the man advantage. We had the time advantage. We slowed them down. They couldn't do much about it. Let's run it back.
Revelations is looking a little bit. I don't want to say chaos, but looking a little confused right now, running all over the map, trying to reposition themselves. It's feeling like it's a little bit slow at this point. You've got a big extension here from JJ & Co, holding on to both. You got two players in bedroom. They're looking in for this top jacuzzi breach, but Mr. B takes down JJ, and that's the Bandit. So if he wasn't in position to work on the tricking, he is down there. That's a huge pick.
That's right, and they make their way inside as they start to take a look here. 5v4 with a minute and 44. Legion Goo goes off, and that's going to reveal the location of Capital. Look at that. Oh, man, holding on, trying to make sure that he can get more than one. Going for the multi-kill, but instead gets none of them. He doesn't get one of them. Just a couple of low health scenarios. So now into a 5v3 as Blitz is primed, poised, and ready to send in for that potential execute. 2 smokes still on the board in the hands of the Capital. 2 smokes in the hands of Blitz. 2 smokes in the hands of Mike W. So potentially, they get this main breach opened up. It's a smoke it out and plan it.
Completely playing into the JJ & Co defense. They're saying, we're not even going to bother with that garage side. We're going to complete con side take and rival missing those 2 kills. We were going to say he had great trigger discipline, but that completely fell apart. They're finally able to open up the main breach to get this cross in play, but man, this right here, Twist is the last one left alive that might have an option, but they are going for the quick con plant. It's going down.
Right. And so, when a 5v2, it's a post-plant scenario where attackers become defenders, defenders become attackers. You got this blitz that you got to deal with. Start making its way up the shield. He's looking to try to draw out the flash. He does, and pays the price.
Wow.
Twist goes down as the pistol pops and the body drops. Asian to secure it up, and that's going to send us on a 4-2 half. Unsurprising for Clubhouse.
Surprising is the way that it played out, though. We saw a flawless victory on round 2 in the Cash CC site for the JJ & Co side, and then Revelations answering back with a flawless themselves on the same site. To me, says both teams making a few mistakes, but adaptations across the board. Well played by Revelations. They did what they need to, picked up that standard split, and doing it flawlessly. Answers back. What's a little, maybe a little kink in the armor there for JJ & Co as they start their attack of Clubhouse.
Okay. I'm interested. What are we cooking with here? Mr. B's gonna bring out that mirror, right? You see it played a variety of ways. It can either be a dedicated blue hold, where one's looking into the generator and one's looking into church. You see it put onto the church wall. Kind of all up for grabs here. The fact that we're bringing along a zombie for that static warfare, denying that intel with mute as well. Probably going to try to do a little bit of that bandit tricking themselves. This is a pretty solid defensive start.
Attackers must locate and
On the side of the attack, though, a little bit of a I like it. I mean, you got all the basic essentials, right? And potentially JJ to take up that space. He's that big first part of the spearhead. If they've got anybody roaming, specifically looking towards that Mike W, that's going to be the play towards getting him down. So some drones to get in and try to suss it out and see if they can figure out where the heck he's even at.
Yeah, JJ is a known shield player, very good on the shield, but the problem is they've got to deal with Mr. B playing that Mira downstairs. This is a good defensive lineup. They brought along all of the specific pieces they need, a little bit of breach denial, the intel deny, and then Asian playing that Azami. And again, on defense, boy, Revelation is just absolutely known for this. It feels like they love baiting in the attacking team, leaving walls that would have been reinforced as part of standard setups unreinforced. But look at this. Realizing, I was going to say not realizing that they had a defender in Logi. The C4 goes out, doesn't connect. And now the battle between the mute and the shield. Who's going to win this? Is he charging it? There it goes.
Oh,
no way! No way! Mike W!
Take him off the board. Emilio does answer back, but that was huge. He shouldn't have survived that, and yet he does, because Mike W is one of the goats. They go for a full barricade here onto the church wall with the bandit charges, which means those mirrors are probably sitting down in that blue, waiting for that hatch drop inside of Modo. And that's exactly what it looks like they're going to start to go for. Util dumps. Minute 19 left on the board. Couple of smokes, a little faux pressure, if you will.
This is really late for Amelia to be working that Hibana, just now getting some of those hatches open. It's just about a minute left, but look at this. They've got soft walls here into dirt. I don't know. Right now, nobody on the dirt side holding. Most of this focused on the arsenal and holding that utility side. So whether or not the kitchen is going to be a significant part of this push in, you said it, holding the moto. They've got the church wall completely locked down. The mirror windows still in play. So they're going to have to push down the blue side if they're going to gain any control in this final 40 seconds.
That's right, and it does start to tick down. There's the fire trying to chase them back off the mirror, but not going to do quite a good enough job. All it does is secure the spot behind the generator, and he's going to find one. Rosida takes it, Asian finds one, Asian good for a double. Snake finds one off the board, now into a 3v1. 25 seconds left. He's just going to try to hold, or not try to hold, he's got to try to make it push.
What a shot!
He's gonna find one, but he still has to deal with this mirror, and he knows somebody's behind it, and that's the big problem, is he's just being spotted out continuously. Finally gets it off the board, so now his next move isn't going to be known. 9 seconds, going to take those shot
He hits
boxes. Does put us into a 1v1. He's got one behind it, a pistol's out. Wrong direction looking, though, and Kyru's going to take him off the board.
Snake what a play. The triple K coming up and getting down to a 1v1 at the end. They were in position, and you had a 50-50 shot. It's the soccer football goalkeeper choice. Which side do you look? And you have to pick one. Kiro sitting on the other side and unfortunately loses that battle. But man, it came down to the 1v1. So close. Revelations pick up their first on defense.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Run away from tying us up. Revelations defense is going to see us going over to the gym bedroom side. A standard secondary option if you prefer that basement approach to your primary. I'm not mad at this setup. Warden isn't going to have a C4 in hands, but of course he's probably going to use that deployable at the top of red. Try to do the same thing that JJ and Co was doing and stop that push in through cache CCTV. Castle will help aid that. They block off those windows. They block off the bandits, potentially get some tricking done. Solid defensive setup. Now, on the side of the attack, JJ and Co leaning into that same thing. It's the double hard breach approach. It's almost standard when you get yourself onto that gym bedroom, right? You got to have yourself a chance to open up everything, and Sophia's going to help with those castle barricades as well.
Yeah, there's too much that's blocked off, and you said it, Mike W putting down the deploy, but not at the top of red. He's going to hold it on the rotate into Logi. An interesting choice there as they're really locking down that Logi part of it. But you said it, all of this defensive utility they're going to have to try and deal with here. Start off with the Jacuzzi wall. Combination of that the Mute Jammer and the Bandit Chargers. They're going to toss the Thatcher down, and he's going to back right off. But look at that. Well played there. Yes, man. The Zofia charges perfectly played to force Kiru off the location, so they're going to open up that Jacuzzi wall.
Yeah, that's step one, right? When we're checking off those Yali boxes, that is step number one. Get the main breach opened up. Now you can focus on that cross-site play. Now you can focus on getting cache and CCTV opened up and starting to push these defenders together, which is what you're wanting, right? You're wanting to group them together so you can catch them on those rotates, catch them on the cross, claim that man advantage, and then start to set yourself up for a bit of an execute. A pre-fire goes through, but doesn't quite find anybody just yet. So open it up, a soft breach not held, and now they see they've got that bandit still to deal with.
Oh, look at this. He's got to be able to, I was going to say, he had to be able to hear the C4. He goes for one tap and then runs away. Good. I mean, great game sense there by Emilio, making sure he didn't get blown high hell with that C4, but playing down below. Look at this. No way, Mike. So close. Snake taking those shots from the Deimos down below, taking shots. Nothing connecting, though, as they're gaining a little bit of control on the cache side. They have forced this defense back all the way into... all the way out of Khan, all the way out of cache. They've given up that half of the map.
That's right. Now, a C4 on the board, sends it out the window, but nobody there to receive that prize. We're still sitting 5 alive here, Whiskey, with less than 60 to go. Somebody going to get that opening pick, and it's going to be an absolute bloodbath when it all starts to fall apart or fall into line, depending on what side you're on, of course. Opening up now into that Logi area. Somebody sitting, waiting, getting ready for that swing. In fact, they're doubled up. Flashes come out. There's going to be a little bit of damage. The drop down. They find one. They find two. They find three. Mr. B finally able to stop the flow.
What?
Give him a double for his trouble, but he gets hit from behind. So now into a 3v1. And Emilio to take out Asian on the trade to win the round for their team. For their team.
Man, what a comeback there from JJ on the attack, shutting down Revelations. They had pushed them back slowly across the map, but then it was the Logi push that really solidified the deal for JJ and Co. The combination of the util drop through the hatch and gaining a little bit of control as they pushed in. JJ and Co. played everything right there on the gym bedroom site. Revelations making a few mistakes, not many, so they're going to try it again. They're going to run the gym bedroom site rather than stick with any sort of a rotate and play over on the cache side. They know that they can hold it. We've seen them do it before. You know, somebody said it in chat. Revelations had a 5-1 defensive half one of the last times that they played this map. They're a very good club defense team.
Laying out the welcome mat. Ready, set.
The adaptation here. No Warden on the board. That hold in the top red. Going to be a little bit tougher, but still got the deployable. Still those frosts to stop that attack. And that last one came down to the wire run. Scary play. 5-3, 1 away from that match point scenario. Pressure starts to mount for Revelations here.
Right, this time they change it up. They're going to run the shield, the deployable shield at the top of red rather than holding on to the Logi side. It wasn't enough to stop the push in anyway, so let's go ahead and go back to the standard. This time they've got that main wall reinforced. Again, last time baiting this team in, they left it open. They were allowed to just make that push in. I think it's a good call from Revelations. Right now, JJ and Co just very good on the attack, but that impact coming out going to trick the A Selma charge, so they're only going to get one open. He's going to have to burn another to try and get that wall open.
That's right, and there isn't a second hard breach as well outside of potential. No, not even any can openers as well. So, like, that's it. Those last two Selmas, that's it, and they've got a lot of work to do with that as well. I gotta get that main breach opened up. What a shot! Rival takes Asian off the board. Oh, that wasn't what we just watched.
The timing was perfect.
I was like, I didn't even see him hit it.
Timing was perfect there, but JJ playing the Monty picks up another, a 5v3. Yes, this team set up a huge extension from Gym Bedroom, almost setting it up like it was a cash CC defense with so much space here taken, but right now JJ and Co, they're slowly making their way across. It's a minute 20 left. No, he's gonna use the Selma on that wall. I don't think Jacuzzi is open. Why are they spending so much time? Do they know that the site is Gym Bedroom?
Yeah, I believe they
it's a
do.
Site,
They droned in.
It's a site switch. They left Jacuzzi is open, unreinforced. Nobody playing over on that side of the map. I'll be honest, my friend. I'm not 100% sure that JJ knows this is site. Right? Obviously they do at this point, but wow, the fact that they have completely left Jacuzzi wide open. They could just walk right in. What a wild round.
Flawless round for JJ and Co. Now on the precipice of greatness. Were they bamboozled? Maybe, but they still pull it out. They still find the win. And now, Whiskey, we find ourselves on match point scenario.
It's not just match point scenario, my friend. We are sitting on match point, map point, series point, grand final point, and making it to Pro League point. JJ & Co. is one literal round away from Pro League, earning that 10th NAL spot. Revelations, they're going to have to be perfect for 3 in order to just force it. Mr. B, Asian, Kiro, Recited, and Mike W., their last opportunity, or they're going to face the same fate as M80X and be relegated to waiting for the next Challenger League opportunity or individual player offers to find their spot in Pro League. JJ & Co. 1 round away. Boy, it's been a joke. It's been a comment. It's been a meme. It's been all over the place. JJ to the league. We're 1 round away, my friend.
That's right. Do you think if JJ wins this, he twerks in the interview? That's the big question.
He's already done it on cam before. Honestly, if it didn't happen, I would be surprised at this point. Revelations, they're going to go basement for what could be the final round of Challenger Series 2025.
Oh.
New feed active.
Okay. Okay. Down to the basement. Gas are being brought along, so there's going to be the extension. Potentially a big one. See which ones is going to open up. We've seen it before. Yeah, open up that moto hatch and then solidify yourself inside of bar stage. Take Hero up to that second floor, play spoiler, try to catch somebody, win that first engagement,
5 seconds left.
bring it back. Problem is they still have to deal with the Goyos, and they still have to deal with the intel provided by Valkyrie, which could be potentially huge. Only 1 C4 on the board. You're going to see how they utilize it.
Stacked 5 apiece, a little bit of late defensive round setup going, and not shooting that default camp. Hero holding on, gonna make a push up on this door. Yes, he is. I don't think this defense this attacking team doesn't know, but a double kill coming out from Mike W. A triple?
Huge. Oh yeah, Mike W getting active now. If Asian finds one, that puts us into a 5v1. So being perfect for 3, well, they're in a pretty good position now to at least claim one of those. They open up onto the castle barricades. Twist, the last alive. He's got to be perfect. He's got to be on pace for the ace, and he's got so much time to work with to get it done. But I mean, this is a tough hill to climb. This is a mountain. They know a little bit about where he's at. They're opening up some of that soft breach above. He's gonna start making his way downstairs. You know what? In this situation, it's just full set, right? Maybe take a little time for your team to talk about it, a faux timeout, if you will. Wow, they're not. That's so crazy. They're not even barricading the church walls.
I'm telling you, this is a Revelations team that is taking a very unconventional approach to the way that they're handling defensive setups. We have seen this across all 3 maps, across their Challenger Series push. They're playing unconventionally and occasionally and a lot of times throwing teams for a loop. We've said it. This team is undefeated in the Challenger Series. They didn't drop a map in the Open Qualifier. They didn't drop a game in Swiss or in the playoffs. JJ & Co. is the only team now that even has a chance to beat this team. Now, they are run 1 round away. JJ & Co. still on match point. Revelations need to be perfect for 3 to send it to OT on map 3. JJ & Co. though, they've got to close it out on attack here on Clubhouse. But it was a triple from Mike W. Individual heroics keeping this team in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does the defense do? They're going to bring out the Fenrir. It's a good call, right? You can't hit what you can't see, and that purple cloud really just makes it incredibly difficult. It's a cache CCTV site with an extension being set up. Bandit's going to go get onto that hot tub wall. This is kind of what we saw from them last time as well, right? The same similar strat. Did they this time barricade up the main breach?
Well, this time, we didn't get a chance to see it. Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh,
this time, they've got both Jacuzzi and the main breach in play. Again, it felt like it was just a site swap that JJ and Co. sort of fell for until they completely shut it down. Now, in this case, it is this. We've seen the round rotate now. They won basement. They haven't been able to win a gym bedroom site, so they're going to skip it. They're going to go for the cache CC site, try and find their first win on the second floor site right now. 40 seconds in, taking shots here. They've opened up a couple of these sight lines. The important piece, Twist, playing that Capital, said it all day. Revelations doesn't have any of that projectile deny either, so when Twist gets his arrows in, assuming he's still alive, they're going to hit and hopefully push out that Rafters player.
Man, this is an incredible extension as well, right? You're extended down onto the first floor. You also have somebody who was playing down in that basement as well. So they've got the key, they've got the identifier. Red pings go out, looking to try to take advantage of that early. It'd be better if there was a second player here, right? Better if they could have that double swing when they open it up. Instead, he's going to drop down. They do. Emilio takes Mr. B off the board, and that's going to be the main advantage into the JJ and Co. So he got to the window just in time. Quick couple of shots down. Gonna force him off and take him back to the top of red. Not gonna be able to bandit trick, which means the wall's gonna be able to get opened up. No Roteros left on the board. All of Zofia's have been used up. 3 air jabs still in play. And of course the Capital bolts. They haven't forced Kiru off of this garage play yet, but that's the next box to check. That's the next step, is finding your catwalk.
What a rotate! Oh, he goes for the shot. Twist almost goes down. Boy, the flashes come out, the flames come out, and I can't believe there is no way he wins that. He gets a self-kill? What?
That's unfortunate. Oh, that's tough, my friend.
way.
You die to your own fire as you try to push him off. That man, and then in just a round of chaos, Revelations comes up in the man advantage. They find themselves 4-2 on the defense. This is a tough place. JJ & Co. now has to be perfect. They got to win 2 to even have a shot at it. Takes a couple shots. There's a down, right? That's a big one. So they get the bandit down now into a 3v2 scenario. 21 seconds left on the board. They still got to deal with the pressure on the off the B chassis. And I think they rotated now in. Oh, Snake's going to find the kill onto Asian. That's going to get the down onto Snake as well. So now into a 2v1, into a 2v none. Kiru survived or claims that round. They are one step closer to tying this up.
There's no way that should have been a Revelations round the way that that thing started off. JJ and Co did everything right and took down Mr. B. That was the area denial and the smoke, completely unavailable for the team for the rest of the round. Then they're working the standard rafters clear. You get the Capital in position, open up the bolts, but man, Asian or Kiru just playing the Azami, gets crazy, goes for the shot as he makes the vault in. The util dump comes in and somehow he survives, and the arrow must have just barely missed its mark, and Twist goes down in his own Capital fire. What a wild util kill that has been. This has been a wild utility game. This has very much been focused on the util side of Siege. We talk about it all the time, but man, the way that this game, this series has played out, it tells the story. This is not the TDM game, but it is crazy the way. And 1 round away from Pro League again. Now Revelations 1 round away from OT. JJ&Co has to close it out right now. Same way they did on Bank, 7-5 victory in order to end this now. Otherwise, we're going to see overtime like we did on Kafe. And JJ&Co collapsed in OT in that previous map.
Okay. Castle back on, Frost back on, intel in the hands of Valkyrie. Good defensive setup. Really try to stall them out here. So, on the side of the attack, what's the win con? Well, I think the first step is going to be getting rid of Asian, right? He has just been instrumental. He has the cams, he has the C4 as well, so we can play spoiler, and he's sitting down on that first floor to do exactly that. Castle rotated all the way up to Logi, and they are completely spread out yet again. It's down onto the first floor and then spread into Logi and into that gym bedroom area as well. Not currently sitting there, but set up for sure.
That using the IQ, identifying where those Val cams are at, making sure they're denying those pieces of intel, but man, right now, Revelations now have fully basically rotated back. They're all on site with the exception of Asian, holding downstairs in pool, looking for the C4 on the gym side to deny the C4. They're going to have to make sure from the JJ side that they identify Asian is not there, that Valkyrie is in play down in the basement, and clear her out before they're going to have a safe gym plant side. They've gained control over here on the cash side. Nobody, again, to deny that. They've taken out the bulletproof, so they're getting rid of all of this defensive utility, and quickly, 1:25 left, and they're basically ready for the execute.
Man, that's huge, but the problem is there's still 5 alive on both sides, so we've seen that not work out in the hands of JJ&Co as they put themselves in a post-plant scenarios and then just suffer on the retake. So, need to claim one. They need to claim a body to be able to put themselves in position to
Mr.
do so,
B!
He's going to deny that. He finds 2 huge picks. And now, outside is Mr. B. He's just holding on, waiting for them to push out that cash CCTV side to try to put the pressure onto him. Now, Twist does answer back. Twist good for a double as it gets equalized here. Now into a 3-3 scenario. That was huge. That was equalized. 42 seconds left as it's all on the lines now for JJ&Co to try to make it to Pro League and keep away this overtime. They've got the intel. They see him set up on that gold rotate. Start to open up that wall, put some pressure on from Logi as well. 24 seconds as it starts to count down. A prone position as he's not going to be dealt with. Smoke's coming out as it stymies the push into Logi, as it stymies the push in from garage door. 14 is the countdown. Resided finds rival. Answered back by Snake. Resided finds one. 2v1. Twist not going to be able to do it in 7 seconds. Maybe 1 second left. It's going to come down to a pistol fight, and he's not going to have time to do it. He runs. We're going to see some overtime, Whiskey.
You said it. We are going to overtime. Regulation not enough to take down the final game for Challenger Series. Man, it has come down to this. All of the games that we've casted, all of the games that you guys have been here with us for, overtime required in map 3 of the grand final. We saw Bank go 7-5 in victory in the way of JJ&Co. Kafe goes 8-6 to Revelation. And Clubhouse undecided in regulation.
Revelation is going to start on the defense. They're going to take it down to the basement. What's been our story so far for the basement and Revelations, Whiskey?
Whew, they have won it twice, back on round 7 and on round 10. It's been a lockdown site for this team. The places we saw JJ and Co. win on the attack, upstairs on those gym bedroom sites. So we did see Revelations pick up both of the upstairs after, so if there was a time they were surging, this is it. They've won 3 in a row. They had to be perfect for 3 to force OT. They have pulled it off. This is a reverse of what we saw on Bank. And man, a roller coaster of emotions right now for both of these teams, but it is time to absolutely lock in. Last opportunity here, and look at this. Mike W. taking some shots, unafraid, keeping that confidence level high, just taking shots out early on. Just give that JJ and Co. team a bit of a pause as they're looking to make their push in upstairs on CC to start with.
Right, and since he took that quick shot there, what do they have to do? They actually have to put bodies up there to make sure that nobody's going to be playing that lurk role, that nobody's going to be playing that late flank. So, drones go in, they're sussing it out, Blitz following close behind to deal with anybody that had been still up there, but Mute rotated back down. We're in a full bunker down with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go.
Kiru's making a push out on the main stairs outside of church with that bandit. So the bandit batteries are down, but he's not in a position to be able to do a trick. So if they can take down Kiru, that's going to give them a huge opportunity and not have to deal with the trick, which Kiru was very successful on some of the previous times they had played the basement. Mr. B holding down those mirror windows, so they're going to have to deal with those as well. Snake has got to stay alive to be able to use his util in that place, and then Emilio, a lot of work for him to open up all the hatches. They've got to get these sight lines in play. First hatch is open. That first play in Capital taking some shots.
Yep, and then the Wamai Gadget going to stop those smokes so that he has the potential to still send some fire down towards that mirror, which is what he tried to do last time. And unfortunately didn't quite get it in the right place as he only was able to secure off Generator and still leave that mirror fine playing behind it. So, minute 13, all 5 alive. The bloodbath is going to start to happen, and they are just now getting the kitchen hatch open. Time starting to become not the friend of JJ and Co. and sitting into the hands of Revelations, and there's no vertical, right? No ram, no buck, you said it. So not going to be opening it up. That means they're going to not look for those easy picks. That means we're going to see a util dump and then just drop and then full freaking send. They put themselves into dirt. He's now been spotted out as the sound is there. Azami up top to make sure that can't just make that easy push in. They're going to smoke it off, so they're going to have to make the swing. Rashida goes down to a low HP scenario, and they're going to send out the fire. That's not going to get the kill, but Emilio is. Asian goes down. Now Blue is located off. JJ gets taken care of, but answered back as Mr. B goes down. So now into a 4v3 scenario. 27
Rival!
Down to a 4-2. Rival with a double, and that's the plant starting to go down. So now going to be on to Kiru. He sends the C4 out. They're going to not get it. Snake's going to be good for the double. JJ and Co. find their first round, and they take it on defense where they had to.
Holy cow. We are now 1 round away again from Pro League for JJ and Co. 7-6. This is it. Revelations now has to be perfect for 1 more to force that double OT scenario. They are on the ropes. JJ and Co. with a slight advantage. They won on attack in the basement, which they hadn't been able to do the entire game. The collapse of Revelations happened at the wrong time. Boy, even with the util that they had in play, the Capital, the fire and the smokes and the blue drop was the key. Addition to that push in through dirt, man. They had the right play at the right time. Left Kiru and that church wall just to hang out by itself while they cleared out the other half of the map. JJ and Co., they're going to play the basement as well, and they were also perfect on this map on their defensive half, winning it both on round 1 and on round 4. It's been a while since we saw a JJ and Co. defensive the basement, so what has Revelations adapted to this scenario? What are they going to do? 1 round away from Pro League.
And this is also the site, right? We saw the smoke kill, we saw the Goyo kill, the Goyo canister accidental self-kill, and the cap can kill. They run that back. Snakes are meta, sitting at that kill leader position alongside Emilio. Going to be bringing them in the Azami and the Bandit, so holding on to that church wall potentially. Not going to utilize the mirror here as Revelations did. Really leaning into that util instead. Worked out for him last time. Let's see if it works out this time as well.
Man, whether or not you think it should be a best of 5 or a best of 3, it is coming down to the final round. Let's just say it. Even if it was a best of 5, there's a good chance that they would have been back and forth the whole way. It would have taken every map, every round, and that's where we're headed right now. The Kapkan in play, the Goyos, yeah, all of that util is in place, and this is a solid setup from JJ & Co. Revelations, they've got to work this defense, this attack early to clear out the util, open up this vertical space. Felt rushed a few different times on these attacking rounds as they're working to get all of these angles and sight lines open. Recited the first one to lose a little damage. The Claymore's coming out to prevent the flanks. But right now, Revelation's a bit on the back foot.
That's right, yeah, some damage done by the Kapkans, which means they got to be a little bit slower. They got to check every door, every window now as they're starting to head in, because you don't want to be the one who dies to the Kapkan trap, right? That just feels bad, especially in one of the biggest games of your entire life. Minute and 22. JJ & Co starting to feel pretty good, but they know the pressure is coming. They know that that first pick is going to be essential, is going to be vital to holding on to this round. They've opened up that top floor, Whiskey. Bees start to go out, holding on to the church wall, looking for a bit of a peek, gonna open it up so to potentially bring themselves in, but an impact on the...
Oh, that's huge. The opening pick, the opening 2 picks. Mike W taking one as well. There are 51 seconds left. Boy, Mike W, Recited, and Mr. B have stepped up in a huge way at the end of this map, but there's the util dump coming.
That's right. Flashes start to ring out on the generator blue. 40 seconds as it starts to count down. They've got to find a way into sight. They claim the man advantage. Impact comes out. Snake goes down. Does get traded. Recited finds one. Asian for good for a double. We're going to see every single one get this one done.
Man, the number of times you have said, I want to see the double overtime final map, map 3 victory. When it comes down to it, my friend, we are here 1 round away. We have gone from starting with 400 teams fighting for their spot in Pro League, through all of the open qualifiers, through the LATAM, through the NAL, through the Swiss stage, through the double elimination playoff bracket, through a best of 3, down to a single round, deciding which team is going to Pro League. Revelations and JJ & Co. are destined to battle to the very end, my friend. There's no more opportunities. This is a win or go home scenario for the final time.
1 more round for Pro League run. 1 more round for Pro League. One of these teams will be your kings and getting into that North American spot. It starts now. 3 minutes, 3.5, to determine who is going to be our next NA super team.
Which is
Church Arsenal. We're going to see it again.
It's wild that we're getting to see Basement. This was the defensive stronghold for both teams until overtime. Both teams lose the Basement on defense in overtime on map 3 in the grand final. What a wild world we're living in. Revelations on defense says that was a fluke. We are going to be able to hold this. We're going to play this one again. Mr. B bringing out that Goyo, Recited on the Legion. They're bringing out those trap ops, and then Kiru running the Vigil. That feels like a little bit of a dangerous pick. He's going to spend some time upstairs reinforcing those walls, but man, it's all come down to this. We are on match point, grand final, and a Challenger Series point.
Yeah, another huge extension here by the defense. Potentially some faux pressure, but they've got 3 people sitting up on the second floor. 1 down on the first, only 1 person in sight. Going to be guarded by those Goyle canisters. This is a high-risk, high-reward situation, Run. You are not lying. First pick is going to be vital and essential. Vigil gets thrown out a little bit. as he starts to make his way back towards Jim bedroom, back to the waiting arms of his teammates. You've got to put the pressure up here. You have to go take these because the lurk and the potential for that flank just too huge. First minute almost dusted.
This is a crazy amount of players in Util that Revelations has committed to this top floor with, what, 3 players upstairs on the second floor for a basement bomb site. Again, they're playing unconventionally. It almost seems like they were playing to try and deny, to try and hide which site it was going to be. Twist finds one, though, off the back of JJ, forcing him up to the window. That was an important first pick here. That's the first one down for JJ and Co. Revelations a little bit on the back foot, and they have rotated back accordingly. Mike W playing the spoiler, playing the rat in the corner in the kitchen. This is a huge position, and high risk, high reward.
Absolutely. He was huge under the hatchet bank when he had that 4-piece to clutch up the round. This feels similar. If he doesn't get droned out, this will be huge. Blitz goes down the stairs. Snakes finds Mr. B off the board, but Elysian Goon is going to slow down the push of JJ. Couple of shots as they open up these main doors. Mike's still sitting in that kitchen area waiting for somebody to come put some pressure onto the hatch. And it drops him right down into sight, so in a perfect position to get back down to the relative safety. A minute left as they start to make that final push in. Church wall has been opened up. They start to put some pressure on. One more Kiva barrier still in hand, so they can block off. They can create one more new angle, but a smoke deep is going to stop the play down the hallway. A drop-down moto as the Goyo canisters goes off. JJ finds himself inside. They find themselves another kill. Answered back as Kiro takes rifle. Asian takes one, now into a 3-2. The blitz goes off. This is now pushed into sight. Foley, 38 seconds left on the board. One towards Azami, but Azami finds it. The plant going down. It's going to be a potential post-plant scenario. Blitz starts to make the play up towards the hallway. The crossfire in place. Now into a 2v1. JJ with it all on the line, and it's going to be up to Asian, who is alone on an island, to try to bring this back. A low-health JJ sees him out, spots him. Now they know where he's at. The swing!
He wins it!
It is! Run! The curse is broken! The wait is over! JJ and Co. from eternal runners-up to undisputed champions. They fought, they fell, and they rose again, and tonight they claim their destiny. This is a JJ era.
JJ to the league. Boy, it's been said over and over that they were not going to make it, that they couldn't make it. They pull it off, my friend. Wow, what a play. What a run. An unbelievable game for this team. An unbelievable series all the way through Challenger League. Undefeated was Revelations until the very last round. The 1v at the end. What an incredible game, my friend. I'm just my heart is beating out of my chest for the way that this has played out.
No kidding. The 2v1 at the end just... Man, my heart is racing as well. These are people we know. These are people we love. And on both sides of the board, honestly, 2 incredibly great teams that have just been so valiant in their march on that path to pro. JJ to the league. I can't wait to hear that interview.
Yeah, we are going to bring over the mainstream to watch the interview happen when it comes down to it, because, wow, what a wild finish. What an incredible game. And really, we can't thank you enough, the viewers, for the subs, the follows, for being with us on this journey. It has been a wild ride, and the amount of time and effort put in, just donated here from the Siege Double Shot. We appreciate you being here with us to watch the peak cinema happen, man. Pure peak cinema.
Yeah, chef's kiss. You couldn't have wrote it any better. We did it. We're there. And now we're at the point where we must bid you adieu. It has been a wild ride. Thank you to everybody. Fett, Jinxie, Super, Royal Penguin, all of you for tuning into the stream while we followed the journey of Challenger Series. But we have reached it. Man, Whiskey, what a game. I'm shook.
I can't believe Revelation goes completely undefeated in the entire Challenger Series until the end. The rematch for all time, that final game was a rematch of that Upper Swiss, and JJ and Co. They adapted. They came out on top. The only team that really managed to shut down M80X. This is the guys that deserved to be there. They have deserved that win, and what a wild ride they took us on.
Okay, folks. Well, we're at that dreaded part of the evening where we must, alas, bid you adieu. So as the lights start to dim and the jukebox starts to sing closing time, as always, my friends, you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here.
Ayo.
Let's go.